Dun, 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 as they say. And there's always that initial pause of, am I live? I've noticed some streamers don't do that. Especially during events, which is especially confusing because they start the event, and then they don't check to see if they're live, and they don't check to see if people are going through the initial, the adverts that play at the beginning and whatnot. And so they just kind of start, announcing, and here's the big event of the hobbity blobbity flobbity flu. And as they're discussing the big event, the viewers are not watching it. And so they just suddenly come in about half through, like, oh, hey, it's starting. And so they, instead of hearing, the big event is starting and blah, blah, instead they hear, and with that, we wish you a good day and a fantastic marathon, or whatever, So what's up? Welcome to the Valley of the Four Winds. The time has come to do the most incredibly, epically thing. Epically? Epic thing we've ever done in the world of Warcraft. We are going to brew beer.
So, got any stories?
Oh, God, you have no idea how many stories I have. Oh, you mean my character? No, that statement still applies. With Lily fetching grain and Mudbug handling our water, all we need is hops and some good wood barrels. I'll handle the barrels, but I need you to gather the hops. I don't know much about hops from this land, but I'm sure the nearby farmers have something worth brewing with. Go see what you can rustle up. Whoops. I just realized I screwed something up. So how's everyone doing? For those curious, we did actually manage to successfully record a Witcher 3 session today. Yay. As opposed to failing miserably because I screwed up. Oh, good, Samurai. Yay. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that will be the end of that. And there will ne'er again be an issue that threatens thee or thine. And what's up, Javan? I was going to mention something to you. I can't remember what it is. Oh, well. I guess it doesn't matter. Although I was talking to the live viewers about your perspective changes. Clear. Clear. There we go. Excellent. Sorry, I'm sorry. I've been really running behind today, so my entire day has been crammed with activity. But like I said, we did get that Witcher 3 thing recorded. Depending on schedules, this is a little more dependent on Sis's schedule than mine. I'm basically making room in my schedule for her. But as of the moment, it seems like we might be able to do a weekly feature with the Witcher 3 backseat run. It is more likely, to be blunt, that we will be doing a bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks there would be a new episode going live. I'm still not committing to that 100% for reasons that should be self-evident, like the fact that there's an ant crawling on my arm. That's weird. That's a weird sensation. Okay, sure, whatever. There was an ant on my arm. Now I've really lost my train of thought. You think the chat distracts me? Ants. That's the real distraction. So yeah, I guess that's all I had to say about that. We are aiming for a bi-weekly release schedule. Not going to promise that. The outside plan is to have a monthly release schedule. You know, one Witcher 3 thing every month. One other thing I wanted to mention here is I wanted to give some gratitude to Third, and to Pax, and to Janine, and to Chris, and especially to Hylisk, for the fact that all of them have been helping me tremendously in rebuilding my videos. I have rebuilt a fairly large sum of the videos I have lost. I also came across some very good luck this morning, in the fact that when I was... I realized that there were some notes that I really needed to keep for reasons that'll become self-evident when we get there. And those notes still exist. They were still on my flash drive for when I printed them out. So, those are not lost forever, even though that was a very real possibility. It's kind of weird sometimes, the things you celebrate. Oh, thank goodness, my files are not lost forever. I was going to have to rebuild those, which would have just been a colossal pain. Oh! Finally, someone messages me on Skype. So, funny fact about Skype, I can't mute Skype, even if it's up, unless someone actually messages me on it. So, I'd been kind of, waiting most of this morning for someone to message me so I could be like, aha, and then mute Skype, so Skype would not be popping up like it just did. So anyways, I don't know. So yes, let's go. So one of the quests he wants us to do is to go get hops. Sorry, I'm still dealing with something on the side here. I'll let you in on my brewing plan. I am planning to make an Emperor Stout. I have no idea what that is. Hello, OP Delete. I am planning on making, when done right, it should be a dark, roasty, high in alcohol. I just realized I never told my plans to Lily. She'll have no idea what type of grain to bring back. Could you go speak with her? I need her to bring back the sweetest malted grains she can find.
Come back with some stories.
Would you mind checking up on Mudmug? He may need some assistance bringing that water back. I'm sure he'll appreciate the help of a big, strong paladin like yourself to help him shoulder the load.
All right. Until next time.
Almost set. That should be enough. Hello, Andrew. Andro? Android. Oh my god! The synths are taking over, guys. Sorry. Sis is so far liking Witcher 3, by the way, for anybody curious. Okay. Go! There. Finally. Alright, back to WoW. Yeah, my day has been absolutely crammed. I haven't even had time to brush my teeth yet.
Tell me of your travels.
We're all children of the water here in the Valley of the Four Winds. It nourishes us, it grows our vegetables, it brings us life. Some creatures, however, drink too deeply and too greedily. They grow too large and must be eliminated before they cause havoc around them. I am but a simple stone carver, but you, on the other hand...
Jade Serpent.
Okay, I'll go kill your guys. So this is something that they kind of mention as being a regular threat. This is not the only time they mention this. As being a regular problem for the denizens here. Sometimes this life-giving Mako is, something will simply have too much of it, and, well, it simply imbalances the natural ecosystem. You know, if you have something like, say, this guy right here, this very large, very powerful crane, it's going to destabilize the ecosystem. I don't even feel like I need to explain the whys and the wherefores of that. It's just logical. So we're going to help Mudmug first, because he has the best quotes. You'll see what I mean.
Fine day.
A Texan Pandaren. I mean, what more do I need to say to that, right? Oh, Valvaxis, you want to help out? That's mighty swell of you. Look at it, Valvaxis, the Gilded Fan. I hear a lot of good things about the water they got here. A lot of bad things, too. No saying what kind of water Chen's going to be in. So, wait, let's say we make him a little sampler platter. Come on, let's get moving. We'll go scoop some water together.
See ya. So long, then. Let's head out into that glade. Look for dark, swirling pools of water. That'll be the good stuff.
Okay. We need the spots where there's as many bugs as possible. Because grossness. Seriously, Javin, get good, man. Yes, that's right. You've been telling me that for years, but now I can finally tell it to you.
Pretty good over here.
Well, he's got one barrel of water now. Come on, Mudmug. We got a couple more over here to get.
Something's a little funny about this here water. Ouch!
Oh my god. It's because there was a crab in it.
Get it. Looks like he's got a little bit of that water stuck in his gills. I'll just scoop some of this up.
Ew? So, this is water we're going to be using for brewing, I remind you.
Well, hello, neighbor. Boy, howdy. Look at this pretty little pool.
Hey, Night Forger.
Let's see here. Hot damn!
It's a spider!
Water spider! Smush him! I'll just scrape some of this water from his little spider mouth parts. A little bit of poison never hurt no one, right?
Well, we have literally made, in this game already, an alcohol brewed from a
This
spider's
water seems
venom.
a little too... what's that word? Oh yeah, clean.
Hey, Chef Lorerun.
Now this is what I'm talking about. Ain't no spiders or crabs in this water. Crap!
Nope. Just an alligator.
Holy smokes, this fella swallowed a lot of water. I ought to pick some up. I'll bet that Chen never made no crock-belly water beer.
Crocolisk belly water beer. Can I make a formal request to never try anything this guy makes ever?
This should be the last of it. I reckon we got enough.
Perfect. Come on, Mudmug. Just keep following me around with your 3 giant barrels of booze. Or water. Ugly, disgusting, dirty water. You filthmonger. Remember the filth gorger in Shatrith? He would probably get along famously with Mudmug. I wonder what Mudmug would think of booze that is brewed from a rotten Arakoa egg. What do you guys think? Would he like that? See how fast he can swim. Keep up! Keep up! Oh, sorry. See, I agree, Kelson. We need to fix that. We can do better than nature. We can get rid of dirt. We can get rid of filth. We can get rid of bugs. All we need is total control of our environment. We've got this, guys. Oh, right. Hops. I'm not going to turn in this quest for a bit, because I want Mudbug to keep following us around, carrying his comically high stack of disgusting water. Also, I don't know about you guys, I tend to have a great fondness for carrots in particular. I want you to... I mean, this is like this bit of the carrot. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Look at the stalk of this thing. That is literally a 2-story tall stalk of a carrot. Yeah, I used to live by mosquitoes. He will follow me quite far, God Mode, as you'll see. There is a limit to it. I've tested it before. Basically, if you leave this region, he just despawns.
What is your hurry?
I am bringing a friend some beer, and we need hops. Do you have any to spare?
Keep the peace.
Nothing is free. Well, okay.
Come, speak with me.
You want me to just give you some hops? Pah! This is the 3rd time today some little blood elf like you has come up to me asking for food. You want food? Then you'd better work. Here, go water my plants.
Stay focused.
Okay.
May your deeds live on in story.
Must water spinach. Water the spinach. Oh, gotta water the carrots. I like how she specifically calls them giant carrots, by the way. Oh, gotta go water the cabbages. Now, I'm kind of iffy on cabbage, but there's some good stuff you can do with cabbage. Especially cabbages the size of, like, your entire upper body. No.
Yellow.
I'm afraid ranch is actually forbidden in the world of Warcraft. Carrying ranch around is considered an executable offense, I'm afraid.
Patience. Patience.
Nice farming.
Goodbye.
You said you need some hops? Very well. I'll send some to Half Hill. I like steamed cabbage, especially with meat and salt. And maybe some sauerkraut. Whatever you do, don't look like a carrot. I know, Narlax. I was literally just talking to my sister about this when we were having lunch and discussing the Witcher 3 thing. And we were talking about how, like, why would anyone ever bring war to this land? I mean, good lord. But, yeah, we've kind of already talked about that.
Speak up.
Oh, hang on.
Enough of that. No. Hi there. Ook.
Vermin. They bite too much. They bite Mung Mung's carrot. They bite Mung Mung's pumpkin. Mung Mung try to shoo them away. And the Dukers bite Mung Mung's tail and foot. Enough is ookin' enough. You fight way better than Mung Mung does. Bring back their bitey teeth. Then we'll see who does the biting.
Off.
Yes, Night Forger, but only ranch.
What do you need?
Do you have any hops you can spare?
White Tiger watch over
You'll
you.
have to ask Mung Mung about that. He maintains our food stores.
Hmm?
Brave Paladin, you could not have arrived at a better time. My daughter is missing. I have a suspicion the vermin took her down to that stinking little warren of theirs. I'm too old to fight vermin, and my farmhand is already exhausted from fighting them all morning. Could you go look for her?
Goodbye.
Time to kill rabbits. Shh. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. No, nothing? Okay, sorry guys. I had one person mention recently, and I found this to be an interesting commentary, that I have too many inside references on my show. I find that interesting because I've been deliberately cultivating that over the last few years. I suppose that does make it a little bit difficult for new viewers, which was the valid point being made there. I mean, how would a new viewer feel if suddenly I just start talking about Ylfa, go about that Ylfa. I mean, you know, no context, no nothing. Or if I start saying Kashi, bunda 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 bunda, because there is no other landing zone. I think you get the point. God, it is bloody hot today. It's warm. We're getting into summer. Summer needs to go away and make way for winter. Alright, who out there is with me that we need to abolish summer forever? Eternal winter. Who's with me? So, in case you're not seeing what's happening here, you remember how I mentioned how they have smaller problems in Pandaria? Well, you might think, well, hang on, his daughter was kidnapped. That's a pretty big problem. Except, so, the reason they kidnapped her was to put her on a giant carrot and ask her to dance for their entertainment because they like carrots and they like dancing. And now they're like, catch this carrot. Now throw it at me. I really don't know what else to add to this. Hey, you're free to go, lady. You kind of were free to go anyways.
Welcome.
No, get back. I don't want to... Wait, you're not a carrot. Or a vermin. Are you here to save me? Those vermin. They make me do horrible, horrible, silly things. All involving carrots. I can't tell you how many carrots they threw at me. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get out of here.
Travel safe.
Oh, let's go home. No more carrots for you. Most places I've lived at in my life do not know how to drive in winter, even though most of those places have regular winters. I guess everyone just forgets once a year how to drive. Or more often than once a year. Eh. Mina, you're home. Dad, I never want to see another carrot again.
Yep.
You bring back those teeth. Maybe Mung Mung will have hops for you. So many teeth. Maybe Mung Mung glue them together and make tiny rake.
Ha! Good one!
You want hops? No problem. You kill vermin for me. Mung Mung send hops to Half Hill for you.
Slow down.
What's all the fuss about carrots? I don't get it.
Until next time.
One more hops to get. Come on, Mud Mug. Work those legs. Come on. Yeah, work 'em. Feel the burn. Hup, 2, 3, 4. Hup, 2, 3, 4. Almost there, Mud Mug. Mud Mug? Oh, there he is. Thought I went too far for a second. Is there any particular reason you're up there, buddy?
What do you need?
Look, I want to buy some hops from you.
Enough of that.
Would that I could, Paladin, but I have a bit of a weed problem. Say, you wouldn't be willing to help out, would you? Yeah, sure.
Speak up.
You want hops? I've got plenty in the shed out back. I'll gladly share some with you, if you help me with my weed problem. Now hop to it! You get it?
Goodbye.
So what weeds?
Until
I
next
haven't
time.
seen any weeds. Ah, there's a weed right there. It's a rather sprightly looking weed. So I have to admit, this is probably the downside to having literal life energy flowing through the soil of an area. Because, yeah, the plants and animals and whatnot grow very, very quickly and very, very bountifully, but can you imagine the weed problems they would have around here? I mean, I don't know how many of you have dealt with weeds in gardens before. They can be a little aggravating to deal with. Now imagine dealing with that, except they're growing up, well, at about this point. At about this rate, I should say. In case you can't see the quest dialogue there, this quest will be complete when we have pulled up 100 weeds. Right, wrong character. I like to think personally that there's an entire sub-industry of
Fine day.
of weed killing, just for just for that, for absolutely nothing else. That's all they specialize in, like mass weed killing. I mean, look at this. These are weeds. I'm just to ignore chat and their particular jocular nature for a second here. You also can occasionally go like this and just set off what is effectively a weed bomb. Save your jokes. Oh my god. Look at them all. Holy crap. Oh god. Oh god, they're everywhere. Fire in the hole! Oh god, it didn't do anything. Oh no. Okay, whew. We did it, guys. We did it. We fought back the weed menace.
Hmm?
I'm sure Colorado would be proud.
White Tiger watch over you.
You are a lifesaver, Paladin. I will have your hops delivered to Half Hill right away. All 3 farmers have delivered their hops to Half Hill. Maybe you should check in on Chen. Let's do that in a minute. First, let's go check in on Lily, shall we? Come on, Mudbug. So I'm going to share a quick story with you. So as I mentioned, Mudbug will stay with you for quite a range, including over here. Now that'll be significant in a moment, as soon as I get over here, so it'll take me a few more seconds. Keep up, Mudbug. Keep up. Okay, I don't want to go too far. But as you can kind of see, I'll adjust the camera so you can really make it out here. This is a cliff edge. There, you see? Goes right over the edge and down into the Krasserang Wild. So this is basically a shelf above the Krasserang Wild, right? You can see it right there. So, occasionally, and I'm a little surprised he hasn't yet, Mudbug, while he's falling around like this, will just randomly be like, you sure you know where we're going? You know, that kind of a thing. And at one point he was like, you're not going to lead me over any cliffs, are you? And he said that while Pax and I were right here, right next to this monstrous cliff. You could probably guess what we did next.
Yellow.
Look at that, neighbor. It's quite the collection of water we got here. With magical water like this, I'm sure Chen will make a brew that really shines. Or a brew that'll land someone in the outhouse for a month. I guess we'll have to wait and see. No, don't you worry about picking them. I can hold these barrels. I may not be the handsomest Pandaren, or the smartest, or any fun to be around in the slightest, but I'm stronger than any Mushan beast. I just need you to lead the way.
Yep. I'm trusting you not to lead me into any rivers or animal mouths or nothing like that.
Don't worry.
Wait, which way did you go?
Over here.
You got any other errands you need to run? Don't you worry about old Mudbug. Just poke me when we get there.
And that's another nice thing. They basically tell you flat out in the quest text of what he just said, that you can just have him hang around with you for however long. No need to immediately rush to the quest turn in. He can see he's fast. He can keep it. Blah, blah, he can keep up. Let's get some grain, shall we? They've got lots of grain here. Look at it all. Wow. Hey, Lily, what do you got?
Oh, uh-huh.
Valvaxis, what are you doing here? Oh, so Uncle Chen wants sweet malts? No problem. Let's get to taste testing.
I'm trusting you not to walk me off that big old cliff.
There's the quote. As long as you're here, you might as well help me out. I'm feeling pretty darn unqualified for the task, seeing I've never dropped a drop of beer in my life. You should try a little sample of each of their grains. Let's see if any of the stuff is sweet enough. Yeah, sure.
Bye now.
Lily? Is that you? Hello? Anybody gonna pay attention to old Mudmug? I reckon we're almost there now.
Yep, totally.
Well, hello, neighbor. Well, hello, neighbor. Fine day. I'll put my boot in you. Oh, hi there. Yellow. Fine day. Oh, hi there. Yellow. Well, hello, neighbor.
I think the I'll put my boot in you is the only pissed sound he has.
Slow down.
Just to be clear, what happened here was an accident. What I did for industry. There was no way I could have known a sprite invasion would happen at any time, or that one of them would try to eat my new Pan's Miracle Grow formula. Now, not only do they have a big sprite league them, but he has one angry beast. If I pay you, will you take him out?
Enough of that.
Hello.
So, we bought some cheap grains in bulk. It turned out the grain was infested with sprites. I hate sprites. Their wee, beady eyes, constant smiling. I would like to resolve this quietly. Can I buy your services to discreetly eliminate some of these grain thieves? Yeah, sure.
May the mists protect you.
I can deal with a few grain thieves. Also, I know you can't tell, but these are not miserly thieves. They're miserly thieves. Wah, wah. This is Cornan, the Barley Barian. Yeah.
Still carrying these barrels back here.
Yeah, I know, Mudbug. Don't you worry, Dun. Yeah, by the way, as you can see, there's a mysterious fruit pile here. Which you can get the mesmerizing fruit hat. Which, I'm stuck. There we go. I have to admit, this is another thing that I find fascinating about Pandaren culture. I know, I've talked about the whole artisan thing several times, but this is related but slightly different. Because this is not artisans of grain. This is people, though, whose only job is obtaining and procuring grain for brewing. And in fact, I get this impression, given how important brewing is to Pandaren society, that these people are fairly well venerated. Not the least of which being the reason being because, as you can see, that guy over there literally has the title of Grain Lord. I don't think they just give those titles out. At least not in Pandaria. Then again, maybe they do. And I know nothing. No, that has not happened to me, Gnarlex. Not since beta. Too much zing in that grain. Also, this amuses me. So, the eating these grains literally gives you buffs, which makes a degree of sense, but it makes even more sense in context since, again, these grains have probably been grown in that miracle water we've talked about. I would actually imagine most foods that you grow around here probably have some kind of magical effect on you for eating them.
You sure we're going the right way, neighbor?
Don't worry, Mudmug, I got your back. No, I agree, Netherzim. He's probably been someone who's been watching over grain and grain harvesting and grain sorting, the different types of grains for his whole life. And he has actually probably defended the grain against maybe even Hosen or the occasional Sauroch threat. So you can get several buffs here. Curmudgeon, which increases damage dealt in the entire valley while you've got it. Zippy, which increases your walk speed. And Bouncy, which actually only lasts a few moments, but it basically gives you Featherfall. You're right, actually, that's a good point. I was thinking too big. He might have been having to deal with locusts. And there's fresh grain. And that increases my nature resistance. Now that that's over, I have some ideas on how to make a new concoction. We'll see. Thank you for your help. Here is your reward.
White Tiger watch over you.
Thank you, stranger. Hopefully we can deal with the rest on our own from here on.
I reckon we're almost there now.
What's up?
Huh. I guess none of that grain is going to work. Uncle Chen's pretty picky. Maybe the Grain Lord knows we can find something special.
Why is all of your grain so bland?
The grain we gather needs to be in large quantities for the brewery. But I may know of a grain that would suit your needs.
Mudbug knows exactly what we're talking about.
Hello.
Looking for sweet grain. My father once mentioned a malted cave barley. That sounds about right. If you are willing to brave the peril, there's an ancient cave at the base of the Wind's Edge south of here. There's even an old lift my father made where he would travel into the jungle. In the cave is a bush as old as my family, and from that fat bush you can pluck a grain so sweet it will humble your senses. Just watch out for its guardians.
Next one is on me.
Since you're heading south, can you try to recover some of the grain these thieves made off with? We saw the birds and sprites hunting off with entire bags of our best bulk stock in the fields east and south of here.
Jade Serpent.
Yeah, sure, we can help out with that.
Sure could go for a drink of water right now.
I don't know if I'd want to drink any water that you would be willing to drink, Bug. In fact, I'm certain that I wouldn't. Ew, as they say. The White
Sure
Tiger...
could go for a drink of water right now.
The White Tiger is a Loa, as indeed all of the 4 August Celestials are. Now, so I've mentioned how Loa work extensively before, so I'm not going to really recover that. But these Loa, kind of like Cenarius, or other less Loa-y Loa, these creatures, they formed a bit of a fondness/attachment for the land that they were protecting and watching after. In this case, the August Celestials happen to be Loa of concepts. Wisdom, hope, courage, and, for lack of a better term, durability are the 4 of them. Now, so the White Tiger would represent courage, quite literally. The White Tiger, of course, is literally here. And in fact, the White Tiger has actually been a defender of the Pandaren people more than once in his past. In fact, when Lei Shen was first coming to power, the White Tiger personally challenged Lei Shen in one-on-one combat in order to try and free the Pandaren people. Lei Shen defeated the White Tiger. In case anyone doubted the level of strength and power that Lei Shen could exert. He took down what is effectively a major Loa by himself. Oh, hang on. So we got to actually turn him in now.
I could carry a lot until I saw all the crud you carry around those bags of yours.
Damn it, I didn't get the audio quote. So that's actually one of my favorite quotes. I thought I could carry a lot until I saw all the crud you carry around in those bags of yours. Which is funny, because I don't actually have that much in this character's bag. But that is pretty funny on certain characters. Let's go ahead and turn this in, because I'm about to zone, and that's going to despawn him.
Told you I was strong. Didn't drop one barrel.
There we go. Now, Lei Shen had 2 weapons. Thunder and Lightning. That's not really a joke. He has named his, I think it's the axe is Lightning, and his spear is Thunder. And they are basically artifact level in terms of power. Hi, Magister. I'm actually a little surprised we're not getting one of the Thunder King's weapons as part of one of the class artifacts. They would suit several of the specs, I would think. Oh, right, I'm supposed to actually use the cliff arms. Hang on. Right, I'm not supposed to have a flying mount at this point. So here, I can actually show you the cliff edge here, and how big of a shelf it is. What I'm supposed to do is this. Watch that last step. Yeah, Wee. That's what I believe, Gnarlix, yeah. That those weapons were literally... Oh, hey, there's another one. Keeper weapons. And considering what Ra himself had the power over the... I forget what he called it. That seems likely to me. My God. It's something horrible. I don't even know what it is. It's okay. It's just a form of an elemental thing. I'd call it a mist elemental, but that's not correct. It's kind of closer to the swamp things we encounter on the rest of Azeroth. It's just mist infused instead of muck infused, if that makes sense. That's gonna bother me. Hang on. They give a specific name to it, and I never remember what the name is. Give me just a second. Because I know the name of the Animus. Vita, that's what they call it. Anima and Vita are the 2 halves of Keeper technology. Vita is best described as energy, whereas Animus is best described, or Anima, I should say, is best described as the physical. And we'll be seeing plenty of that later on. But yes, so Lei Shen took his knowledge and mastery of both from Ra Den. Or just Ra, really. The Den thing literally just makes his name Master Ra.
Welcome.
Between birds and sprites, we are never going to meet our quota to the Stormstout Brewery. Oh, thank you very much, stranger. This has not been a good day, but you certainly helped to make it better. Please, take this. You've earned it.
May the mists protect you.
Slowly malted over time by a cave, fumes, and moisture, these grains of barley hold more natural sweetness than anything you've ever tasted. That jungle sure sounds spooky. Now this smells like the right stuff. Uncle Chen's gonna love this. Or he might tell us to find something sweeter. He's kind of dumb like that. Let's get this grain back to him at Half Hill.
What? You gotta go already? Alright, back to Uncle Chen at Half Hill. Race you there!
No! Come back. Come back. Yeah, so when we were doing the... so we've re-recorded the Throne of Thunder for the show, right? And we were going through the Animus fight, and that's one of only 2 fights we actually died at, thanks to mechanics simply being able to overpower us. That probably doesn't surprise anyone who's done that fight. Hey, she's cheating. She's not going by the road. I suppose I didn't answer you, Magister. I'm very tired. I'm really, really hoping to finish Valley of the Four Winds today. I'm kind of behind on my own schedule. And I've been staying up till like 2 in the morning every day and waking up at about 9. Which I know, that sounds like pathetic to you guys. But I'm pretty tired. Sorry for my infirmities. Okay, so we've got hops. We've got grain. We've got brew!
Hey!
Now these are some beautifully malted grains. You two have a good eye and nose.
May your journey be long.
Look at all these hops. This is quality stuff, too. We're making headway, Volvoxus. Soon we'll have all the ingredients necessary to finally start brewing.
Aye, travel well.
Alright. We have everything we need. It's time to start brewing. Pay attention! You might learn a thing or two.
May your journey be long.
Okay, I'm watching
very well.
Very carefully.
I will need your help making the spear. When I yell out the names of ingredients, you throw them in the pot. I am kidding! I am the best brewer across 3 continents. I think I can handle this part. Damn straight you can. If you wouldn't mind waiting, this might take a long time.
Alright, let's go enjoy some tea and some local,
That did take a long time.
pho? I feel like I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's a form of soup. It's really good. It's funny you ask me that, Oprah, because I'm playing AC as we speak while I'm playing WoW. So I'm going to say both equally and just avoid the controversy. So, in case you didn't catch the joke there, he was making a reference to several quests we've had, but most notably the one in Wrath, where we had to help, where we had to help brew. It's like, I need more bananas, and then you'd click with the bananas and toss it in. So we didn't actually help him brew, we just kind of got all the ingredients for him. Yeah, we actually went to a place like that for lunch. By the way, everyone, you can't see this properly, so forgive me, but check it out. This is a pen. I know what you're thinking. Whoop-de-crap. Well, it's going to be hard to see. But if you can kind of see, there's something a little different about this pen than most pens. And it actually has got the website on there, too. Gotta think of the long-term picture here, guys. Lorerun.com is a brand. Yeah, no, pathetic. What do you want from me? Anyways,
Is trouble brewing?
thanks for waiting so long. You are as patient as you are brave. Now, onward to the Stormstout Brewery. It's high time I was reunited with the rest of the Storm Stouts, and what better way to reunite than over a few mugs of ale? You know where the brewery is, right? Just follow the road to the west. You can't miss it. Of course, you're free to share the road with us. We'll be leaving any moment now.
All right. Until next, let's load these barrels up into the cart, shall we?
Fung, 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 fung!
Onward to the Storm Stout Brewery.
So long, Halfhill!
It's been fun.
Mudmug, are you coming?
Oh, I don't know. This kind of seems like a family thing you're doing, and
It is a family thing, Mudmug. And I want you to join us.
no fooling?
Of course not. We brewed beer together. That practically makes us brothers.
Yeah, beer brothers.
Ugh. You guys are gonna make me throw up. Seriously though, Mudmug, don't be dumb.
Come on, help me pull this cart.
Yeah. I have to admit, I really like
Is this the
that.
fastest you can go? Come on, Fatsos, move those legs!
Very well. I'll put my belly into it.
Yeah, come on, hurry. Whoa, whoa, wait, whoa! Oh, God! Come back! Oh, jeez! They move at epic mounted speed, as you can see here. Here, let's catch up a little bit. There we go. I think that's a pretty touching moment, personally. And I have to admit, I always have a soft spot for the awkward loner who isn't really well liked by people, finding someone who can tolerate and enjoy their company. So I like the fact that Mug got embraced into their family circle. And so did we, as Netherzine pointed out. And once again, this is a proper escort speed. I mean, if all the escorts in the game moved at this pace, wouldn't that be awesome? Hey, Brocanton. Congratulations. Now join us! Join the new Scourge! So we're not calling it that. We've done some test group, focus group studies. We're gonna not call it the Scourge anymore. We're gonna call it the Empire.
Sit down. Have a drink.
Wait, the door? It's boarded up.
Come back with some stories.
Huh. Looks like they're closed.
Yes, strange. This door was not here before.
Y'all think they're hiding something inside?
We will find out. Storm Stouts, open up. I have returned. And I brew beer.
Guys?
Settle down, Lily. You know that I hate to be interrupted while I am knocking on doors.
Chen, it's a giant dang old hosen.
Ooh, crashing. Ooh, party.
Ah! We've been barreled.
Hosen attack.
Someone get me out of this barrel.
I will break you out of those barrels.
Ugh. Thank you, Chen. Well, so I put in a request for help with the creators of the Imperium bot, of the script the Imperium bot is using, because there's one line on the script that just wasn't working, and it also happened to be the only line of the script that I cared about at all in a bot. Well, I still, and this has been, let's see, I can actually look right here. It has been 7 days now, and I still haven't gotten a response from them on it, so I guess for the moment we're living with Nightbot. If anyone knows how to set up an IRC bot, feel free to let me know. I've heard a lot of cockamamie rumors about this here brewery, and I thought they were all false, till I saw a giant hosen. So that got me thinking, what if the other rumors were true? I heard this other rumor just the other day about some water sprites that run around inside the brewery, causing a ruckus and whatnot. Their bodies are actually made of water. I reckon a man can make some mighty fine beer with water like that. Of course,
All right,
he
then.
hears
the
about-
brewery's got a second entrance. Over yonder. I reckon I'll see you over there.
the polls, Zed. The only thing I care about from a bot. So I love that. He finds out about water elementals, and his first thought is, I can't wait to brew beer from water elementals.
What you doing?
Can't believe that giant Hosen. He's just throwing barrels everywhere. Barrels, man! Looks like he managed to get pretty much all the Pandaren that were working out in front of the brewery. If I were you, I'd help some of them break out. Put some of those ridiculous muscles to use. We're heading to the brewery's rear entrance. Meet you there.
Take me with you. I'm going ahead to see if there's anything I can do to help.
Okay.
See you there, Uncle Chen.
Bye.
Hey, yo.
Are you seeing this? Vermin, Hosen, water sprites, all pouring out of the brewery doors and windows. What the heck is going on in there? There is another entrance on the eastern side of the brewery. I'm going to run over there and try to figure out what's going on. In the meantime, see if you can't get rid of these creatures. There's nothing worse than a drunken Hosen.
See you on the other side. Lily, Mudmug, wait up.
All that precious beer going to waste. If Deutsch was here... Brocanton, I do not have a raiding guild. No, I do not have enough people for a raiding guild. But I'm sure Chris would love to get a raiding guild going together again. And I admit I wouldn't mind either. But that's probably not going to happen till Legion. And that's not for like 3 months, so... Gosh, there's Hosen everywhere. My goodness. Hey, Necro. We're working on the completion of the Valley of the Four Winds today. We've still got a decent chunk of stuff to do. We've got the Nessingwary stuff, and the Western Edge stuff, and I guess that's it, actually. So I love the idea that we're killing these water sprites literally just to consume their water. If you remember, as we've already discussed, water elementals when it comes to Pandaren areas are pretty innocent. Ah! We have been barreled again. Hey, Adris. Right now, the big rumor, Gnarlex, is July 19th. And I've put my own stamp on that as well. It makes a lot of sense for the timing. It would give them 7 weeks of acclimation and of the launch event. No, it's fine, Zed. I mean, they're not innocent children like elementals or anything like that. I don't know about beard growing. I am not good at beard growing. I actually need to shave tonight. The only reason I haven't is I literally haven't had time. It was shave or get some sleep. I went with sleep. No, barreled. What's funny is that does do damage, it just does a very small amount of damage relative to our current health. Even if I wasn't level 91 at the moment. Oh, shoot. I just remembered we dinged in this zone. Right, right. Hang on. I had been saving this for literally here. I wanted to take a picture right up here, actually. Looks like it's going to be a little hard to see. Maybe we'll get a little closer. Yeah, we'll do it up here. We'll do it up here. Alright, good night, Aegis. Oh, crap. I overshot it. You mean a face pizza? Let's see if I can get a good shot here. Nope. It's a shame, because this would be a good shot otherwise. Oh, maybe. Kind of get a shot of the farmland over there. There we go. That was our ding picture for 91. Excuse me. Yeah, no kidding, Brookhampton. So I'm like, oh, quick, invuln, okay. We're okay, guys. You would not believe how many times as a mage I have been plummeting to my death and just sitting there watching, waiting for it to be over. And then about 2 seconds before I hit the ground, it occurs to me that I'm a mage and can float. And I'm like, wait! Ugh.
Oh, uh-huh.
What is it with monkeys and barrels anyways?
Okay, see you around.
Well, hello, neighbor.
This is gonna be great. It'll just be like making beer, but instead of water, I'm gonna use water Sprite meat. Looks like plain old water to me. It's hard to believe it's actually the corpse of a real, honest-to-goodness, walking around living thing. I can't wait to turn it into beer and drink it.
So long, Dan.
You seem a little parched.
I have had just about enough of this brewery. I'm starting to think you and I should just bust down the wall and clean house. Let's do it! This is it, Felvoxes. I've had enough of this. If somebody doesn't do something to take care of this brewery, we'll lose it forever. And there's far too much family history and beer in there to risk wasting. So we're gonna break in through the back door. You, Lily, Mudmug, and me. It's gonna be a brawl in there. Let me know when you're ready.
May your journey be long. Aye, travel well.
In we go. Alright, Mudmug, let's go after Eddie. Get it? It's a water elemental called Eddie.
Yellow. Yep.
One thing I want to comment on, too, is the nature of the elementals on Pandaria. We talked about this already on the Wandering Isles, but one of the reasons I feel that they have such an innocent nature is because they have been segregate from the more violent, horrible things that happen in the world, just like the Pandaren people have. So, I mean, the elementals here may not be good elementals, but the worst things they get up to are so small in comparison to what the elemental lords would actually do on the rest of Azeroth. Keep in mind, we do know for a fact that the elementals on Pandaria have been segregate from the rest of their brethren and the elemental lords for the entire duration of the last 12,000 years. So, for the same reason you do, Night Forager.
Fine day.
You ready to fix this? I'm ready to do this. I'm fixing to make a puddle out of that critter. It's just, well, I ain't much of a bruiser, and I get scared real easy. You're the paladin here. You're gonna protect me, right? Calm down, Mudmug. Let's go.
All right. Let's go smush that water varmint. Let's kick the little bubbles at his face.
Bubble face kicking. Bubble face kicking. It's hard to tell, but we're kicking these bubbles as we run over them.
Quick, come pop that bubble. All
Pop.
right. Now I'm gonna whoop your butt.
I'm not sure if Pandaria was separate in the dream,
Can't hit him.
but I would put a very high probability that it is, in fact, separate, even in the dream. Because otherwise, people would have discovered Pandaria sometime in the last bajillion
I'm
millennia.
gonna turn you into a stout. Let's kick them little bubbles back out.
I mean, it just stands to reason logically that if Pandaria was connected normally through the dream, people would have found it through the dream, right? And yet nobody had.
I'm gonna turn you into a scout. Nice fighting. Real hero-like. Y'all should check in with Lily up ahead.
I've often believed their appearance is just a byproduct of their nature, the more innocent-like nature of these elementals versus the rest of the world.
What you doing?
This guy's bigger than I thought he'd be. You think it's from drinking beer? I know that beer makes you fat, like Uncle Chen, but I don't think it'd make you taller. Either way, I don't think I could do this guy alone. Don't worry, I'll help.
All right, let's go. Look how big and ugly he is.
Should I run?
I'm gonna run.
What happened?
We kicked a barrel onto his face, if you're curious what's going on there.
Juga throwing his fruit because he feels now Juga chased Panda Girl.
Down you go.
Waiting up ahead. You go find him. I'll stay here and mock this unconscious monkey. Not so tough now, are you? That's right. You look so...
Oh, the voice acting's telling up. You look so dumb laying there on the ground. Don't make me make Valvaxis throw more barrels at you. What's my opinion on the Legion camera mode? Well, I haven't seen it myself in action. I mean, I've seen videos of it, obviously, on MMO Champion and whatnot. I will probably not use it, but it seems like a cool way to help emphasize story. In fact, it would be great if I had that now, because there's a few cutscenes I would love to use that on, just for showcasing the Lorerun to you guys. Yeah, I thought that was funny, too. Hey, Darkrai. Yes, I have, Necro. So, we have a few of these things. These are elementals. Really, there's nothing really to describe here. These are exactly what you'd imagine. They're elementals who are made of ale. Beer, booze, you know, whatever. I really wish there was more lore to discuss there, but there kind of isn't. As we've already kind of emphasized, elementals are not necessarily just core elementals of the four base things, you know, fire, water, wind, earth. We have seen elementals of all sorts of varieties that still are under the subtree of the main four throughout the course of this lore run. Heck, as I pointed out, the Flame Wakers, or Flame Keepers, or whatever they're called, are fire elementals, despite the fact that they're walking serpent guys, you know? So, I would say these probably sit under the water elemental purview. It's just beer. So, it also makes perfect sense to me that there would be beer elementals in freaking Pandaria. Yeah, tell me about it, Nethrosium.
So, got any stories?
What is going on in this brewery? Has nobody maintained this place? Where are the brewers? Where is my family? They must have gone somewhere. If they were here, they'd be cleaning up this mess. For now, looks like it's up to you and me. You ready?
Come back. Storm Stout! Give me a hand. Once we get rid of these spirits, we can move on.
Group up more. If you'll notice, too, they're sort of congregating as we defeat them here. I don't know enough about alcohol to make a beer pun for
That
Ragnaros.
sure was nice of those spirits to hop into this pot. What?
Behold!
Looks like we're not done yet.
The greatest of the elementals. That's not true. We'll be finding a bigger one in just a minute. 2 cups, maybe? No. 2 stouts. You've awakened me with 2 stouts. Executus. I don't know. I got nothing.
I think we've done enough damage for one day. Let's meet up with the other 2 at the brewery's rear entrance.
I hate you, Darkrai.
Sit down. Have a drink.
Take a look around. It's a lot calmer outside. All the brewery needed was somebody strong to take care of it. It's going to take some time to clean this place up, but I don't mind so much. This is, after all, my home. We need to find out what's going on inside that brewery.
All right. Until next time.
Wait, who are you?
Looking to buy?
Excuse me, Valvoxus? Did I hear your name correctly? I come from Plow, to the west. They sent me to pick up some emergency beer rations, but the Storm Stout Brewery is all boarded up. It looks like your handsome friend there, no, not Mudbug, the other one, has a few casks with him. Could you spare a keg for a town in need?
I hope to see you again soon.
I have a rule. Anybody who calls me handsome gets a free beer. So, Deutsch, all you have to do is tell Chen that he's handsome. There you go. And you get free beer. Completely filled with Chen's new brew, the Emperor. Alright, but before we do that, we're actually gonna do something else really quick. Because, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we really need to figure out what in the world is going on in this brewery. I mean, it's clear that the main problem is someone just isn't taking care of it, but why? We know there's somebody here, so why is he absolutely ignoring everything that's going on? So why don't we find out? I'm just going to go quiet for a bit while some voice acting happens.
Oh, hello, Zan. It's good of you to visit old Auntie Storm Stout.
I am not Zan. I am Chen Storm Stout.
Oh, Zan, you remind me so much of your father.
Tell me, what has happened here?
It is certainly a nice day outside.
Where are the other Storm Stouts? Why are Hosen all over the brewery?
Oh, have you seen the size of Esme's turnips?
Anti-Storm Stout. Why is the brewery abandoned?
Abandoned? Oh, heavens no. Uncle Gao is in charge, while the others are beyond the wall. Isn't that exciting?
I see. And where is Uncle Gao?
I have some cookies for you.
There is no time for cookies. Well, one cookie. Just one. Wait, these are ghost cookies. These aren't filling at all.
Okay, that's the last bit. So, oh right, I'm on my warrior again. So, some of these are Hosen, who are making a bit of a mess. Some of these are elementals who are basically just messing with the Hosen. And again, not really malicious intent. At least I've never gotten that feel from it. It's more the trickster, you know, haha. I mean, they're even literally called trickster there. So, my cock asks, do I think Sargeras is the most powerful being in the setting? To which I say no. Sargeras is probably one of the most experienced combatants in the setting, and that's one of the reasons why he was able to defeat the rest of the Titans in one-on-one, or one-on-5, I should say, combat. But no, I don't think he's the strongest. I imagine that the Void Lords are stronger. I would also say that the Elder Naru is probably stronger. And at some point in time, the player characters will probably be stronger too. Just because you're the size of a planet does not make you super strong. Will I be doing... I will be doing Stone Plow next because... unless my memory is terrible, it doesn't actually work that way. See, here's the way these quests work. I'll go and show you really quick. So you do all these quest chains, and it leads to Stone Plow, and then Stone Plow kind of ends, and it's just like, you know, to be continued kind of an ending. Then, when you do all of the Krasarang Wilds, you get a quest to go back to Stone Plow, and that's when the quest chain, which kind of goes through all three of these zones, really. It's a loose thread tying all three of these initial zones together. Concludes in the Stone Plow, and it's awesome. So, but that will not be happening today, because we have to go through Krasarang to make that happen, too. You may or may not notice that there's a counter at the bottom here. In order to disrupt the party, we have to kill 40 Hosen. So it's actually possible to skip a lot of this trash if you're doing this dungeon normally, but you don't want to. At least not unless you're using a certain strategy, which I'll talk about in a moment. You'll notice these mobs are just kind of hanging out here. This is habanero brew. And that's what happens when you poke habanero brew. Also, the thought of alcohol brewed with habaneros just sounds weird to me. Now, there's another question I want to respond to. Netherzeem keeps talking about Uken and the Duker. So, yes, I absolutely agree with what you think about that. I think it's just a PG way of saying that. What, you mean the one that willingly allowed itself to go into captivity so it could salvage the Blood Elves as a race? Because I don't think that actually counts. Besides, we have very little information about the Elder Naru, other than the fact that it's stronger than all the other Naru combined. This is a nice mechanic, by the way. I think this is cool. You might be like, well, what's the point other than riding around in a barrel? Well... that. Barrel! The barrel doesn't just do damage and knocks them back, by the way. It also gives them a debuff, which makes them take increased damage for a period of time. So as you can see, the Hosen here are just having a wonderful party, along with Ook Ook up there, who's about to be ooked in the Duka. Which means something much more coarse than that, which I'm not going to say out loud, because that's not the kind of channel this is. But how much of party animals are these? Well... some of them have fezzes. Fezzes are cool. Some of them have these kind of hats, the zebra hats. All of them have things of ale. They are very drunk. Oh, and some of them have the purple hats like that, and some of them have beer hats. These guys are pretty ready to party. When you kill 40, they all run away.
Crashing party.
Yes, this is a total sausage fest. So this is actually a fun fight. We're just gonna blitz him, but basically, he throws bananas around. You can hit him with barrels of booze that just occasionally fly out. And it's just fun. I don't know what else to say about it.
Get ooking party started!
Damn. But yeah, you missed it there, but he says he's gonna ook me in the Duker.
Come on and get your ook on!
Personally, I think the word ook is a little more multi-purpose than just the word that Netherzeem said. But I do absolutely think that it does mean that as well. You're terrible, Deutsch. I just want you to know that.
We gonna ook all night!
Like that for a statement right there. I don't think he means what Nethrezim means there. I just think he means something more generic. Because again... Uh-oh. You take down Ook Ook. You know what that means. You the new Ook. Get the party started for the new Ook. So, contrary to popular opinion, Hosen do actually have a dance animation. As you can tell. This is also kind of a parody of Dire Maul North. It's good to be the Ook. This trash sucks when you're low. When we first were starting Pandaria, we're low on gear and all that. This trash sucked. Because it's kind of... You have to keep going, and it's easy to get overwhelmed and just... Yeah. This is a gauntlet. They will keep coming forever until you manage to stem the tide of vermin. You know, I know what you're thinking. Arsh, where the heck are all these vermin coming from? Well, I'm really, really glad you asked me that, because you're about to see where all these vermin are coming from. Hang on just a second. You do get that ability. It's literally a mallet that you can just smash them with. Come on. There we go. So that's where all the vermin are coming from. Right in there. They're just kind of hanging out in what I imagine used to contain grain or beer. I'm not sure which, to be completely honest with you. I'm not sure, Nethrezim. Kind of depends on perspective. By the way, Hoptalis, his rallying cry is, "Oh yeah! You have turnip for a head. Get that carrot out of here." This is what we call an opportunistic vermin. And off he goes with his giant carrot into the distance. Bye, Nibbler. So here we have some ancestral brewmasters.
What's it? Are they... What are they doing to our elementals? Hey. Hey, you! Those are our flying beer monsters?
Yes, Pandarans are so skilled, even their spirits can get drunk. Personally, Nethrezim, I enjoy questions like that, trying to debate cross-universe with different settings and whatnot. To figure out, you know, relative power levels.
I think I'm going to need another drink. Oh, why do you say that? I'm beginning to like these guys.
As you can see, there's a lot of spirits of brewmasters around here. And they're all drunk on ghost beer. That's right, there's even a passed out spirit. I agree, Nethrezim. So.
Yes, yes, yes! So close! Just a pinch of... Oops!
I quote these quotes so often. Me and my friends in the guild do too.
Brr, too bitter. Just a drop of honey and a cane of sugar and maybe some corn. Yes, more corn.
So, yes, by the way, peppers! For those of you who don't understand that quote, you will in about a minute or so. Probably less than that, probably like 20 seconds. So, part of the point here, in case it's not quite sinking in, is he is so oblivious over here, working on perfecting his new brew, and already gave his reasonings and explained those yesterday, that he is completely oblivious to the elementals he is generating behind him.
Yes. Yes, yes! No, 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 no! Yes! No! Peppers!
It's the way he says it that makes that so quotable. It's actually hard for me to say that the same way he does. I wonder how many takes that voice actor took to do that. So, this is actually kind of a neat mechanic.
Ah! No! What is that thing? It doesn't matter. Nothing will stop me now. Not when I'm so close. Maybe if I don't look at it.
So that's the first time he's aware that anything is happening. So this is Yanzu, the Uncasked. So he has a couple of abilities he can do from either wheat, ale, and stout. Carbonation or wall of suds, bubble or the thing, and bloat or blackout. And it kind of randomly picks which abilities he gets. And you can tell because those trash mobs I just killed will have the same abilities that he has. Speaking of which, I just realized I've been forgetting to read the quotes for the area. Forgive me. The Stormstout Brewery. When Chen Stormstout arrived in the Valley of the Four Winds, he journeyed to the renowned brewery of his namesake, hoping to connect with his relatives. What he found was his ancestral home in disarray. Under the watch of the incompetent Uncle Gao, loathsome vermin and unruly Hosen have infiltrated the brewery, sparking a destructive revel that will soon devastate the region's supply of tasty brews. Then we fought Ook Ook. Even for a Hosen, Ook Ook has a reputation for being uncouth and raucous. The monstrous creature and his cronies recently broke into the Stormstout Brewery and cracked open its precious beer casks to throw the greatest party of all time, Ookapalooza. Hoptilus, the previous boss, the giant vermin, Hoptilus is the bane of farmers throughout the Valley of the Four Winds, a vermin of mythic proportions that can consume entire fields of crops in a single night. Word has spread that the giant pest and his offspring have infested the brewery and begun devouring its stores of rice and barley. And finally, Yanzu the Uncast. In a desperate attempt to save the family brewery, Uncle Gao set about concocting what he believed would be the ultimate ale, a full-bodied elixir of depthless flavor. Yet his bold experiment resulted in a bitter, extremely volatile elemental, Yanzu the Uncast. He has a bunch of cool mechanics. I'm actually going to chill for a minute just to show off a couple. What do we got here? So he's got bloat, yeasty, and carbonation. So that's not the best combination of abilities. Some of the stuff he does is really cool, though. It can get a little... This is actually one of the harder heroics, in my opinion, back when this was live. I know, right, Nethersine? Whole field of crops in one night. In a setting where people have wiped out cities, down to the last child. Ah, here we go. This is carbonation. The whole floor gets stuck with suds. And you have to float up in order to avoid the damage from them. One of my favorite abilities of his is he gives you this ability called Bouncy. And if you jump, you go way up into the air. And then this wave of beer will come after you. You have to jump over it in order to dodge it.
Is it? Can it be? Such harmony of flavor. Such heady aroma. It is the perfect brew. The name of Stormstout will be sung once again throughout the hills. Uncle Gao, this brewery was left in your care. What have you done?
You again? Don't you see? I have made a name for myself at last. I have brewed perfection.
At what cost? The brewery is trashed, infested.
Details, details.
And there are vermin in the main store.
Look, Chen Stormstout, we all can't be heroes, running from our responsibilities, tromping around the dread wastes, saving the world. Some of us are artists.
I think the brewery might be on fire.
Yes, that happens.
So that line of dialogue will be followed on in the future. Chen's basically going to spend the next however long time, probably about a month I'd say in lore, trying to recover the brewery and make it so that it doesn't fall apart, while we go off and continue to adventure throughout the lands. I need to go here. But for us, we need to figure out what's going on in the western part of the Valley of the Four Winds. They were asking for help for some reason, and we have a topic to discuss. If only the Legion... I'm actually going to laugh if the Pandorans try to fight the Legion with elementals. All right. Let's go and abandon that, because we kind of just did that. This is the zone I'd live in, Gnarlex, and I love the aesthetics of it, but this is not my favorite zone to quest through. That's a pretty close tie between every other zone. No, I'm kidding. Jade Forest is really high up on the list. Valley of the Four Winds is high up on the list. Kun Lai is high up on the list. Dread Wastes is high up on the list. All of those are effectively tied for me. Cresserang isn't bad. I enjoy going through Cresserang. It's very atmospheric. And Town Long isn't bad either. It's just interesting the way it's presented. You'll see when we get there. So, before we actually advance the quests, we're going to talk about... Well, no. Let's advance the quest a little bit, then we'll talk about the wall. We should be seeing it correctly. Yes, we are. Excellent. So as you can see, this is a member of the Shadow Pawn. That's important.
We are the sword in the shadows.
Greetings, Paladin. Finally, Emil's come through. I hope all is well at the Stormstout Brewery. My men don't do well without beer.
The wall must stand.
Oh, and hey, Lynn's here. Remember her? She's one of the four... Probably Permius. She's one of the four martial arts students from Jade Forest who came here.
Tell me of your travels.
Oh, it's you. No, I haven't found the hidden master yet. I probably wasted my time coming out here.
May your days bring you joy.
I'm not from here. I've never even been here before today. But even I can tell you something's wrong. That wall over there was built to keep the Mantid off of Pandaran lands. Now the Mantid are sending winged scouts over the top, as if the wall wasn't even there. The only reason those spindly scouts aren't dying is because they're attacking farmers, not soldiers. They wouldn't stand a chance against someone like you.
Farewell.
We must not falter.
A few farmers remain in the fields, some perilously close to the crumbling wall. I don't want any farmers pretending to be heroes. We will take care of this Mantid swarm, and then they can return to their homes. My Shadow Pawn are too busy defending the town to organize evacuations. You want to prove yourself useful? Get those farmers out of harm's way.
Watch the shadows.
What is happening here? The Mantid are attacking, and we are shamefully unprepared. Under normal circumstances, our enemy is quite predictable. We anticipated the next full-scale Mantid attack would hit in about 10 years, as they do so regularly every 100. This current invasion is hardly full-scale, but it's still strong enough to catch a farming village unawares. Had my Shadow Pawn been keeping a watchful vigil on the wall, Stoneplow might have already fallen. The Shadow Pawn? Yes, the defense of Stoneplow currently rests on me, Guard Captain Oakenshield, and 3 others of our order. As we speak, those 3 Shadow Pawn are standing at the foot of the wall, waiting to defend against the next wave of attackers. This is our charge, to protect Pandaria from the enemies that the common people have all but forgotten about. While our numbers here in Stoneplow are few, we do not expect reinforcements from Kun Lai, unless the situation gets worse. Say, for example, if that weak spot in the wall crumbled. Well, wait, what happened to the wall anyways? A few days past, I saw a bolt of dark energy crackling through the ground from my tower vigil. It came from the west, fracturing the wall, very nearly breaking through it entirely. You can see the scars it left. It ruined these farmers' land. The Manted scouts followed shortly thereafter. Whether they've had this attack planned or are just capitalizing on the opportunity, I couldn't say. Maybe they're running from whatever caused the crack in the first place.
We serve so others do not have to.
I'm just relaxing a bit, sorry. You're all over the camera just for you, sure you. There. So, timeline talking stuff. There's a couple other things to mention here, too. So this is the wall. I've actually referenced it several times. As you can see, it actually covers the breadth of the entire continent. That's the southern shore way down there. And it goes up alongside the Veil of the Eternal Blossom. We'll be seeing that more in person later. And it continues going north all the way to the northern edge. You can literally see it right there. Bisects the continent, see? This wall was actually constructed by Lei Shen. It was constructed specifically to keep out the Manted. Yeah. You see that mess? I don't want to really talk about the Dread Wastes in detail yet, since we will actually be questing there later. But I think that right there kind of makes the point that needs to be made very, very clearly and distinctly. You can also see how it's spread out a little bit over here, too. And you can see how even though we have pseudo-normal skies somewhere, you can look up and see the Shah influence there. So the Mogu had been fighting off the Manted for a ridiculous period of time, for a fairly long period of their history. And so, as I mentioned before, Lei Shen tends to follow the same directives that he was programmed with when he was first created, that all the Mogu followed. Keep the lesser races, which was in his mind was enslavement. Fight the minions of the old gods, so that's where the Wall and the Manted Wars came from. And, of course, making new things, which is where the Saurok and the Grummels came from. So, the wall was actually built by the Pandaren. The actual physical construction was done by the Pandaren. It's just Lei Shen oversaw its construction and the engineering and whatnot that went into it. There's a lot of blood in that wall. Probably literally. I know that there's some debate as to whether or not bones actually exist in the Great Wall of China, but we know definitively that bones exist in that wall right there. These quests never directly mentioned this black goop on the ground. I mentioned earlier a theory my friend Pax had that we're the only ones who can actually see the black goop and see what's really happening here, because of our connection to the old gods and the void in general. This is probably one of the biggest points of evidence for that, because no one here references the black stuff at all. It's just, oh my god, the wall's weakened, and there was some kind of bolt of doom, and nobody references that either. So, again, more fuel to the fire that we're the only ones who can actually see just how bad things have actually gotten around here. But the other thing I wanted to mention about the wall is that the wall didn't actually work. See, the only way the wall worked was because the same way that the Wall of China worked. In other words, while you could get over the wall on an individual basis or an elite squad or whatnot, sending an army over that wall was simply infeasible. And so it's a good deterrent. It's a good way to prevent massive armies from going through. But more to the point, the wall only really succeeded because of Corex? Shoot, I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Hang on. I gotta look up his name. No. There we go. Corvin, the Prime, the first of the Paragons of the Claxi, first of the Paragons of the Mantid. So he came up with the idea of enforced natural selection amongst the Mantid. In other words, trying to have the Mantid attacking periodically, but not constantly, against the Mogu and later the Pandaren. And you could, so the Mantid would attack, and we would, the Pandarans or the Mogu would push them back, and thus the weak would be automatically culled from the Mantid. So whichever Mantid were left behind would be stronger for it. And since Mantid live extremely long lives, as most of the insect races do, you would actually get that. It's basically a form of enforced Darwinism that they were practicing, and they continue to practice to this day. Arguably, they would probably continue practicing it forever until they were finally called back by the old gods, because that's what they were waiting for. They were waiting for Yasharaj to give them their orders back in order to go back and enslave the world and blah, 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 which we actually see happen later. So, anyways. Now, to respond to Necroblow's comments, as I said, it's only an interpretation that they don't actually know about the black stuff on the ground, because they never directly reference it. They reference, the farms being destroyed, like you just mentioned. Because, like that one was destroyed, and that one over there was destroyed by the black stuff. And there's Mantid over here attacking them. But, again, it's a purely speculative thing. And I just like the idea because it makes a lot of sense to me, and it adds a little, a bit of flavor to the Shah empowerment, the Shah energy. And I really enjoy the thought that everyone else just sees, the ruined wall and some broken buildings, and the rest of this valley looks completely normal to them. And we go here and we see just this black void of death. Because this is void energy, by the way. Shah energy is clearly and distinctly void energy. And very awesome looking, I might add. It's a really unique, distinct visual effect they've got going on. And so we're the only ones. But I like that idea, but I'm not necessarily saying that's true. It's purely a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Yeah.
Slow down.
So, we're trying to evacuate the families. I'm a farmer, Paladin. That's all I know. All we have of ours is our land, and the Comancher wants us to give it up to the Mounted? I will not do it. My grandfather knew what he was getting into when he first planted seed in the shadow of the serpent's spine. I have my wife, 2 strong daughters, 2 strong sons. Thank you, but we can protect this farm ourselves. I don't remember enough to answer that question definitively, Permius. It wasn't mentioned earlier when we had the vision. It might be mentioned when we do the quest in Kunlai. I'll pay attention when we go back through there. Because that's a new quest.
What do you need?
Stay back! Wait, you're not one of them? We're not accustomed to outsiders. And the Mantid breaking the wall, what can we help you with?
Goodbye.
Oh, I see. I'd hoped we could wait out this invasion, but if the authorities want us to leave, we will leave. Ying or Zhong, gather your things. We're leaving until the farm until it's safe. Daddy, is this nice person going to kill all the bad Mantid soldiers? I don't know, dear. Are you? The Mantid are fascinating to me because the Mantid and the Nerubians both are an excellent example of creatures that by all rights should be our enemies, and in some cases are, but their overall culture, the bulk of their people, are not against us. And I find that hilarious that we have so many reasons to fight orcs and humans and trolls and elves and Darns and all that, and we come up with all these reasons to fight each other, some of which are valid and most of which are not, in my opinion. And we have all the reason in the world to absolutely hate the Nerubians and the Mantid, and yet there's a surprising amount of affability from both races. It just makes me tilt my head a little bit. The mantid, I think the oldest living mantid, was it like 3 centuries, I want to say? I'm trying to remember, because there's a specific reference in it in one of the lore tidbits, and I can't remember the number. It wasn't super long. It wasn't like the millennia range, nor was it immortal, but it was about the 3 century range, I want to say. Because I know mantid usually, if they survive, see more than one culling against the wall, against the serpent's spine. Also, Nerubians, playable characters. Let's make it happen. But yeah, I like the idea that the mantid are basically coming stronger, just the same way the player character is, just in a more generational thing rather than an individual thing.
Speak up.
How many times do I have to tell that bonehead? We're not evacuating.
Until next time.
Outsiders, you know nothing of the stone plow way. We're proud. We're strong. We are descended from the blood of the tiller himself, and we don't run from trouble. That's right. Now please, Blood Elf, leave and let us defend our property. Mere inches from Shaw corruption. Seriously, I would totally play a Nerubians. I'd probably play a Mantid too, but I would be more enthused about playing a Nerubian. Sorry, guys. How about both? You know, make one a sub-race of the other. If they ever implement that sub-races idea, which they've been tossing around for a long time. So you notice these Mantid all have these orangish colored, almost crystalline weaponry. That is amber. It is not any just any amber. It is the amber of a specific type of tree, which is fairly unique to Pandaria, that they have cultivated an entire technological basis around. In other words, the Chinoshins. In other words, amber is to them how oil is to us, if you follow. We'll be talking about that more later. I just wanted to point it out now because I think it's fascinating. We'll be talking more about the trees themselves, too, later. There's a little bit of lore behind them. But again, that's for later. So, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the Mantid. So, I already gave away the big thing. The Mantid are one of the insect races, and all 3 insect races, the Akiri, the Nerubians, and the Mantid are all, yes, the Kaipare trees, are all from the same root. They were all part of the same general insectoid race that served the old gods all the way back during the long, long ago in the before time. The main difference is the fact that the 3 got separated at extremely long time ago. I'm talking like when the old gods lost the war against the keepers. And as a result, they all kind of developed differently. The Akiri, for example, were under the constant supervision of Cthulhu, who, if you recall, was pretending defeat without actually being defeated and was basically the first to be unsealed. And so the Akiri are, by and large, a massive group of evil bastards who live for Cthulhu and die for Cthulhu and all that fun stuff. There's not really much of a culture there, so much as an emulation of culture there. By contrast, the Nerubians built an entire empire with art and beauty and music and architecture, and this, you know, the massive depth and breadth of Ajol Nerub was crafted by the Nerubians because Yogg-Saron was asleep for most of their tenure. Similarly, the Mantid, the person they followed, the thing they followed, Yasharaj, was dead. So they kind of adapted to function without any old god influence whatsoever, other than the most basic aspects of it. Point in fact, and this amuses me greatly, the Mantid of the Klaxi are actively against the Shah, even though the Shah are a direct byproduct of Yasharaj. Just to show how much they have been separated from their so-called, you know, deity. Now that being said, once it becomes clear to them that Yasharaj is in Siege of Orgrimmar, they go ahead and follow it, but you get the point. Excuse me.
Hello.
Evacuate.
There is no hurry.
Oh, I don't know. I am old. And I've always... Look out! Mounted! I've reconsidered. It's too dangerous to stay here. No piece of land is worth losing your life over. Let me see those evacuation orders.
Next one is on me.
I feared this day would come. I will pack up my things. That's an amusing quote to me, by the way. No land is worth losing your life over. I know a lot of people in the rest of Azeroth who would disagree with that sentiment. Yeah, that would be Corvin Netherzim, the guy I mentioned earlier. But I wasn't counting him. I was counting, you know, Nemantid who don't get sealed in amber.
We are the watchers on the wall.
This is a good quote, by the way. The defense of Stoneplow is more important than you know. If the Mantid take Stoneplow, they may as well take this entire valley. Beyond this wall, there's nothing to stop them from sweeping through the entirety of Pandaria. This is another whole... So we had this big discussion about how the Pandarans don't have a functional military, right? They don't have... Hell, they don't even have a nation, actually. And, yes, he did, Rory. And we actually saw them earlier. And, it's this is another aspect of that. The Shadow Pawn patrol the wall pretty regularly. And they patrol a few other things in the Pandaran territories, which is all the ones east of the wall. They even have some outposts over here in this Townlong Steppes, west of the wall. They pretty much ignore the Dread Wastes. But the point is, it's like, if you ever played an RTS, StarCraft was really big about this. If you ever played StarCraft, and you had, like, one big line of defenses, this was true in, like, Age of Empires as well, for example, or Warcraft 3. You have one big line of defenses, and then behind that it's just buildings. You know, your barracks and your food supply, you know, all your research stuff. In other words, zero offensive or defensive military force behind the wall, and then it's just the wall. Anything that manages to get past that wall is just going to have free reign to go throughout there, and that's the situation the Pandarans, in general, find themselves in. Oh, you're right, Netherzine. That's the guy who was new, the new one they mentioned in the book. I forgot about him. Anyways, so I just wanted to talk
What
about
is
military
it?
tactics for a second. Lyn asked you to help us out. Rather presumptive of her. Still, we are short-manned. We won't turn down help, or the girls. You have our thanks, Paladin.
We serve so others do not have to.
A few stubborn ranchers want to make my job harder. Fine. I will rob no Pandaran of his right to defend his land. We should be able to handle the defense of Stoneplow from here on out. Lyn here is searching for someone she calls the Hidden Master. I believe I know who she's talking about, and I have a clue for you. Go north.
Watch the shadows.
It's not really a clue so much as like a direction of whatever. Did you hear that? The master to the north? Watch, Commander, I'll be leaving now. I'm finally going to complete my training. Maybe I'll meet you up there. Yeah, I think I'll beat you there. Sorry. Oh, hang on. Not that I'm aware, Gnarlex. The only paragons they had were the ones we opened, or the ones who didn't survive the process. Like, the Cloxy are basically gone. The Mantid are basically gone. This is a pretty area. I like this area. The Mantid, as an overall force, have ceased to be a force by the end of Pandaria. I'm not sure we could call them extinct, but they might actually be extinct. Because we don't know if they had a new queen ready to go to get new Mantid. So, they may be gone. I'm not saying that's true or not. I'm just saying there's... One way or another, they are screwed.
Yes?
You seek training? He studies your physique for several seconds without speaking. All right. We will start with a test, the trial of bamboo. Your friend Lyn failed this test. Follow me and listen carefully to my instructions.
What is it? This test is simple. All you need to do is strike the bamboo until it breaks.
but it's too thick around, you might say. That is part of the test. Yes, to succeed, you must focus all your energy into one fist. Then, strike! You learn quickly.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, Nethrazim. If I was writing the story, she would be dead. If you know what I mean. Not just because, you know, I have any desire for the story to go in that direction, but because of the fact that the Klaxi and the Mantid Empress were the two factions of the Mantid who were fighting each other. Both have basically stopped to exist as organizations. The Klaxi are gone. And the Mantid Empire was dismantled when we went through the Heart of Fear, and through all the things we did for the Klaxi. So if the Empress still existed, she probably would have been caught up in the crossfire there. It just what I would have thought happening. I'm not saying it's impossible. They probably will try to bring the Mantid back through whatever her name is, you know, the new Shek'Zir. But, yeah. In case you aren't quite catching it, I'm sure most of you will not recognize this. Pax caught onto this immediately, and then he pointed it out, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Master Bruised Paw here is voiced by the same person who voices Shen in Diablo 3, the Jewel Crafter. I think he does a good job with the role, too. You mean the ones we murder, Venters? Butcher, kill horribly until they're all gone? I don't understand your question. The Klaxi are gone, dude. We wiped them out. We did that.
Mm-hmm.
You show promise, Valvoxus. It is time for your first round of montaging. I have to admit, this made me grin when I first saw this. We have an honest-to-God montage. A martial arts training montage in WoW. I was sad too, Necro. I'd grown rather fond of them. No one's ever gonna keep you down. Wah! Clearly I'm not making my point clearly enough, Venter, so I'm going to try a little bit better. I found it funny that the Klaxi were very anti-Shah, given the fact that the Shah are a direct byproduct of Yasharaj. So they aspire to follow Yasharaj, and in fact, when Garaj calls them, they are following the will of Yasharaj, and yet they fight so hard for basically the entirety of their story arc in Pandaria proper to go after the Shah of Fear specifically. Fear is the one who has set himself up in Dread Wastes. He's the second biggest of the Shah, in my opinion. And that makes sense, since he is Fear. So, that's what I meant by that, Venters. They were going against the old gods by going against the Shah, because the Shah are more or less literally of the old gods.
What is it?
The mist in this forest is a constant nuisance, one which I'm glad to hand off on trainees like you. Strange creatures lurk in the mist between these trees, and they must constantly push back. Consider this part of your training.
Mm-hmm.
Trainee, several wards surround us, hidden in the woods near my home. They are quite effective at dispersing the mist, but they require constant upkeep. You will find one to the north, west, and south. Find these wards and light them.
Greetings.
I'd like to go tell Zhao, Kang, and the others I found the hidden master, but now he won't let me leave. He says I have to pass the test of bamboo first. How'd you do that, by the way? It looks like for the time being I'm stuck here practicing my knuckles against this rock, and my knuckles are about to cave in. If you could gather some jade mood leaves, I could prepare an ointment to at least numb some of the pain.
I hope to see you again
For the show,
soon.
Sonic? Yes. By a wide margin. That's right, 1 prime Shaw for each of Yasharaj's 7 heads. Obvious references to the 7-goated thing, I can't remember its name, forgive me, and to the 7 deadly sins. Although I don't believe the sins and the primes coincide 1-to-1. I'm not sure about that. I'm not. So I cannot speak to that one. I have to admit, this is incredibly cliche, but I kind of like that. As I've said more than once, cliches are not necessarily bad. I mention that, though, because one person I was talking to once, the biggest complaint they could level at Pandaria was that it was a cliched expansion. I then asked, well, was it well presented and well done? And they said, well, yeah, it was really well done. And I'm like, huh, okay. But you thought it was cliche. Yeah, and therefore it was bad. Yeah. And we met an impasse at that point. I actually did that earlier, Venters. Personally, I would naturally put Pride at the top. Pride, then Fear. It gets a little trickier after that, but I would probably put Anger at number 3. After that, I would probably go with Violence and Hatred, more or less tied. Hang on. Pride, Fear, Anger, Violence, Hatred, Doubt, Despair, with Despair being the weakest, quote-unquote. Which is funny, though, because I feel like Despair would have some of the most long-term power, if you know what I mean. The most impact. Maybe not the strongest 1-to-1, but definitely the most ability to influence, you know? It could be Necro. And that could be why the moment they discovered the heart of Yasharaj, they were like, yep, we're going. You know, no hesitation, no nothing. Ah, yes, the Shaw of Happiness. Where's my Shaw of Happiness? Where's my Shaw of Happiness? There we go. And the Shaw of Happiness. Which is also the smallest of all the Shaw, as you might imagine. Because cynicism. I don't know what else to add to that. I also feel like the musical cues out here help add to the scenes of these. And this whole arc we've been doing culminates in something that I personally think is really awesome. Kay wouldn't think it's awesome if he was here, which he's not. He would think it's really dumb and boring and stupid, and then he'd spit on me. But I would still protest that I think it's pretty awesome. Yes, Sonic, I have very large projects in my past. For example, I had something called the Variance Project, which I actually spent a grand total of 3 years to the day, plus like 2. So it's like 3 years and 2 days on. That was when I sat down and used and basically made my my variance mixes of thousands upon thousands of songs. I've actually played a few variances for you guys. Yes, there is, Kay. Hi, Azura. Have you saved 10 minutes or more, Psychotic?
Oh, hello.
Ow, ow, ow! You know, you can stop punching the rock. Lynn pauses a moment to rub the leaves on her swollen paws. Thank you. I can prepare a proper ointment later, but this will do for now.
Farewell.
Nice, Psychotic. My sister, who's also been playing Fallout Shelter now that she became aware of it, discovered the game and she's really been enjoying it. And she has the weirdest luck. She's already gotten a minigun laser, I forget what it's called, and a freaking Mr. Handy. I have gotten nothing. She's restarted her vault like 6 times too, and I'm still on the same one.
Yes?
Anyways, you follow directions well.
Mm-hmm.
You honor your people. You've progressed in your training, I think. Come, we'll attempt the trial of wood.
Yes? This test is simple. All you need to do is strike the wood until it breaks. But it's too hard, you might say, huh? But it's not too hard. You are ready for this. excellent focus.
I like this mechanic, too. If you can't see, we're actually trying to hit that 100 point right there. And it'll pause there for about a second. I don't know enough about Perfect World to really comment on it. I was really not interested in it when it came out.
What is it?
You have the gift of focus, Valvaxis. Not many students make it this far. He glances over at Lynn. I can sense your anxiety, but you are not ready yet. Your training must continue before you perform your final test. And for your task, I need some eggs. Yes, eggs. The marshlands atop the hills are home to a number of birds, which are generally peaceful in nature. You should have no trouble gathering me enough eggs to last several weeks. Okay. Test your might. Dun, 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 dun. I'm so sorry, Samurai. I should pick up Unchained just to see how much I hate it. With all my copious free time. Although I have discovered, and you all can make fun of me for this, it's totally okay. Oh, these birds are terrifying. These birds are not peaceful at all. I've actually died to these birds. I'm not going to on this character, but yeah. So I've discovered one excellent use for mobile games. I should say mobile game. It's just Plants vs. Zombie 2. In the course of my life. It's something I can do while I'm doing editing. Because editing is such an incredibly boring process, but I can't, like, speed it up. You know, there's nothing I could do to speed it up. I have to manually go through all my videos and then just, you know, chop them up properly. So, it's incredibly boring, but I have to focus on it while I'm doing it. So the majority of my focus has to be on the editing. But then I get extremely bored having what is effectively nothing to do the majority of the time I'm editing. So having a little mobile game to play, you know, Plants vs. Zombies 2 in this case, is, it's nice to have something to distract me, basically. So there you go. I have discovered a use for mobile gaming in my life. You may feel free to commence the mockery. And the best part is I'm completely non-invested into it. See, I originally was playing 3DS games while editing, but the problem is I was focusing on the 3DS games because, you know, I was invested. I actually cared about what was happening. I know, weird, right? Oh, there's some. No! Go away, birds. So wait, hang on. Is it not in English, Samurai? Because that would pretty much 100% guarantee I don't pick it up. I also downloaded Hearthstone, although I have yet to play it. On the phone, I mean. I do recommend Plants vs. Zombies 2. And Fallout Shelter. I guess I've been playing that, aka checking it every 5 minutes. Or 5 hours, excuse me. To see if anything's updated. Lorerun Pokemon. So... every time I talk about the lore of Pokemon, everyone in my chat disagrees with me on it. I find that really funny, actually. Although I do have a Pokemon stream planned for the future, it's just that's way off in planning at this point. No, I'm not doing a, I forget the name of a challenge. I just don't enjoy doing that. Unless you guys convince me to.
Mm-hmm.
How's your egg hunt going? Now you know why I don't gather the eggs myself. Shall we continue your training? Gotta be a montage. That's true, Magistrate. Yes, Nuzlocke, thank you. He's throwing eggs at me while I punch a wall. Now he's eating an egg while I punch the sky. I guess that's kind of the point, Sonic, really. Oh yeah, I look awesome now. And now... I just don't enjoy Nuzlocke runs, as I mentioned earlier. You know, I'm not sure anyone says mortal-like at all in Pandaria. No! No, God! Run! Yeah, I was gonna say, if anybody would, it would be the Shah. I don't think Lei Shen says mortal. And I know that because I just beat him last night when I was re-recording the Thunder Throne thing, and I'm pretty sure there was no mortal references there. A lot of arrogance.
Yes?
You have accomplished much in the short time you've been here, Valvaxis. I normally would not offer this test so soon, but I feel you're ready. It is time you went to took the Trial of Stone.
Mm-hmm. This test is simple. All you need to do is strike that stone until it breaks. What? That's impossible, you might say. Ah! Well, then you would be wrong. With clarity and focus, nothing is impossible. An excellent strike.
I don't think the Klaxi said anything either. And again, I just recorded the Heart of Fear last night, too. Also, in response to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Comment, I spent a lot of money on MTG when I was younger. That's like a decade ago at this point. Not that I'm aware, Kay, no. Don't worry, we'll be seeing some more mortals in Warlords? Actually, maybe we won't. We may be at the end of the mortal counter, guys. At least until we hit Legion.
Yes?
Stone quivers and breaks underneath your fists. You have the power to move mountains if you so desire. There's nothing more I can teach you.
Greetings.
I can't agree with you, Sonic Doctor. I'm afraid we're no longer friends. Farewell. I told myself that if I ever made it to the Hidden Master, I would learn everything I could from him. This is my chance, Valvaxis. I'm not going to let it slip away. Still, I fear Stoneplow needs us. I left early, before we were able to push the mounted scouts back. I'd feel better if you would check in on the Watch Commander for me. Oh, and if you run into the others, maybe you could tell them where the Hidden Master is.
Travel safe.
I suppose. Alright, while Sonic Doctor is distracted, I want someone to rip out his heart and turn him into a nobody. Samurai, if you would, please.
Pandaria conceals a great darkness.
I am glad to hear that Lin is well. Our defenses are holding, for now. The Mounted continue to send their scouts over the wall, but they haven't gotten much farther than that.
The wall must stand.
You have been an asset to Stoneplow. We may call upon you again in the future. Until then, you should speak with our Flight Master. He will take you wherever you need to go, free of charge. This is a nice mechanic. So here's how this works, quest-wise, okay? You do all these quests leading across here, right? And then we're basically done here. There's only one real quest hub we haven't done, and that's the one down here with Nessingwary. If you talk to the Flight Master, it will pretty much give you a free shot to go wherever. In this case, Zoo's Watch would be where we'd be going next. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go do Nessingwary, and then we're going to be done for the day. Thank you, Bregwin. Appreciate it. Yeah, speaking of which, by total happenstance, the movie theater we're going to see Warcraft, the movie in, is going to be one of the ones doing the promo. I say total happenstance because we had our tickets before they announced that promo. So, first of all, obviously, Nessigwary. You guys know who he is. We've seen him in Vanilla. We've seen him in BC. We've seen him in Wrath. And we didn't really see him in Kata. Not other than that one little tidbit. So, this is the first time he's been back since Wrath. Also, he's got a new balloon called the Kilimanjaro. Hope you get that one. He will be in Warlords as well, consequently. So, and also, Nessigwary Jr. is here now, too.
What's on your mind?
Mushan. Would you look at the size of him? Old as the dirt they walk on, probably. A fine trophy. If you're looking to test your mettle as a big game hunter, yeah, you best start with them.
See you soon.
Tell me of your travels.
Tigers. No matter what land I go to and hear about these giant-fanged beasts, and yet, I haven't had a chance to hunt any of them. Well, let's go hunt some tigers. I'll go east, you go west. I think I saw some near Dustback Gorge.
May your days bring
So this
you
Nessigwary
joy.
chain starts like all the Nessigwary chain starts. Go kill animals. Don't worry, it'll get a little more interesting, just like it has in every quest since Wrath, basically. This area right here, by the way, if you're raising grilling as the Pandaren cook, this is pretty much your best friend. Because the tigers drop steaks, and the Mushan drop steaks. And they're both really useful. So, a little bit of a pro tip for you there. Because I am definitely a pro. I also like how the lush green terrain of this area kind of naturally devolves into the Krasserang Wilds. You can see it right there. That's actually the Krasserang Wilds down there. Oh, there, Nessie. Yeah, this is probably a good place for skinning, too. I don't know, I didn't really push my skinning in this expansion. I know I've maxed it, because I have a max of everything, but, you know. Bless you. That was somewhat loud. I like how the tigers are still eating the Mushan corpses. I don't even recognize that name, Nuthrazim. Although I'm not really good at recognizing individual names from short stories. Speaking of which, there is one short story that I might actually read for you live on camera. Not sure if I'm going to or not. It's the one about Dezco, the Sunwalker. And if you have read that short story, you probably understand why I am tempted to read it for you. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to, but I'm definitely going to reference it when we get there. Holy crap. Especially since the game itself references it, too. I'll point that out when we get there as well. There we go. I like how the tigers are attacking the air. I suppose I could put it up to a vote when we get there. I'm not going to read it until we hit the Vale at the very earliest. I would probably read it before we hit the Thunder Isle, actually. Because those events happen just before or after the purging of Lorerun. I can't remember, actually. It is a dictatorship, but I like to give you guys the illusion of choice. That's how all great democracies work, after all. Sorry. No politics jokes. I'm sorry, guys. Bad, Arsh. Bad. Bad llama. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Oh my goodness. So while I'm waiting for respawns, I'm going to go see if I can find that short story really quick. Let's see how little time it takes me to find it. Let's see. Code of Rule I might actually read. But that's not the one I wanted. The one I want is... Bleeding Sun is actually the short story I was just referencing. Ah, poor Desco. Poor Desco. I literally cannot read the short story until after the Krasarang Wilds, because it happens after that, and after Kun Lai, actually. But, you know. Let's bookmark this really quick so I can just find it quickly and easily later. You did in fact hear me reference that wonderful, joyous event, Magister. Hello, Random. And we will be discussing the purging of Lorerun in detail when we get there. In fact, we'll be showing you the full story, which most people haven't really seen from my experience, because we're literally going to be going from... we're going to be doing Horde Quest, then Alliance Quest, then Horde Quest, then Alliance Quest, and we're going to go back and forth, so you can see the full totality of what was actually happening. But anyways.
Welcome.
Wow, you really racked up a count. I'll chat with Mr. Plebe about getting you the best one converted into a trophy for you. So, when I was scouting east of here, I saw a collection of foxes. That's when I first learned to hunt, back when I was on the Wandering Isle. If you want to see the challenge a young Pandaran hunter faced when growing up, head east and face off against a bunch of foxes. They tend to be clever and cunning, so be on your guard.
Travel safe.
What can I do for ya?
Oh, well done, Velvoxus. My father travels across the sea to a new continent, and all I can seem to want to hunt is boring old wolves. Me, I like to hunt stuff with meat on its bones.
Watch your back.
Quality over quantity, my boy.
No.
My boy here's a talented hunter, in training. Let's show him an old Nessie-style hunt, shall we? I saw a mighty big moose on east of here with a dark hide, dark as night. It looked as if it had taken on a number of hunters in its day. If you want a big game hunt, go try and take it on.
Safe travels.
Yeah, it's messed up, isn't it, Gnarlex?
Greetings.
I always was a fan of a good stag hunt. Stags are tough, fast, territorial. They may be plant eaters, but they can give any hunter a run for his money. East of here's a whole mess of wilderland stags just waiting for a hunter like yourself. Happy hunting.
Light bless you.
Oh yeah, by the way, if it's not obvious, this particular Pandaran is one from the Wandering Isle. In fact, I believe she is a repeat NPC. But she directly references the fact that she's from the Wandering Isles, too. Also, look, it's John Dar, the Mogu. But we will get to that later. Oh, wait, there's an ominous presence around here. I feel like as though I'm being hunted. Huh, well, whatever. I'm sure it's nothing. There's nothing ominous underneath the dirt of Pandaria. It'll be fine. Yes, Desco is a Sunwalker, aka a Paladin. And despite what some people might think, someone Joker. No, I'm kidding. Some people do not like the fact that Paladins were made into Tauren. Wow. Taurens were made into Paladins, that Taurens could make Paladins. Jeez, that guy's just spawning all over the place, isn't he? I mean, seriously. I was actually hunting him the other day while we were doing some recording stuff to see if we could get the mount off of him. And nothing. I'm probably never going to get some of these rare mounts. I'm probably just going to give up on them. I'm telling you, Psychotic, Forsaken Paladin. It would be awesome. I would roll one immediately. I would convert. I would pay the $20 to turn my Blood Elf into a Forsaken in a heartbeat. I would just, bam, done. Yes, there. Here's my, here, take my money. Let me play a Forsaken Paladin. But alas. So they added something new, I'm pretty sure this is new to Pandaria. See this guy? This is a boss mob. Now I know what you're thinking. Huh? I don't mean in combat, as you can tell by the pet icon over its head. This is a... Whoa, this is a fox. This is a pet battle boss mob. So it's usually just the one guy, sometimes it's three. They are much stronger and have much more meaner abilities than other pet battles do. And they added a lot of really fun stuff you could do with this. There were some achievements for fighting them, of course. There were a couple of daily quests you could do, that kind of thing. I actually have done the beat all of them in Pandaria ones, and oh my god, these guys are brutal. There's one in, like, I'm not even sure I can show it. It's like on this peninsula down at the edge of the Crossring Wilds, which gave me a lot of problems. I had to actually build a new team just to fight it. But anyways. Yeah, I like that too, Malayas. Since the Crossring Wild is one of the few areas where, technically, the Horde and Alliance are in contention. I say technically because they're not really fully in contention until the 5.1 invasion. Ah. Those are pretty nice antlers. Not that I want anyone to think that I have an antler thing. Although, Nessingwari himself certainly seems to be taken to the unique taxidermy opportunities that Pandaria represents. Imagine getting one of the devil sores that the Zandalari brought here. Just to name one example. Come on, foxes, where are you? Come out, come out. Okay, I'll kill the boss while I wait for you. Down you go. I would totally believe that, Psychotic. I could actually picture him being like, oh, and just getting on top of a Shaw of violence and being like, yeah. There's one. Okay. I need to, well, I need a lot more foxes, actually. I don't tend to like quests like these. Call me a weirdo. Good thing is, fox babies count just as much as fox adults do. So the game is encouraging us to kill babies. Speaking of which... There we go. All done killing fox babies. I actually have still to this day never killed Undasta. That guy just hurts. He just flat out hurts. Yeah, no kidding, Gnarlix.
Oh, hello.
Oh, well done. You outfoxed the foxes. I will talk to Mr. Plebe about getting another trophy made.
I hope to see you again soon.
Light be with you.
I haven't seen any stag hunting this good since Ashenvale.
Be careful.
As you can see, we're starting to have a... so we've got the stag, we've got the fox statue, we've got the Mushan statue, we've got the tiger statue, and the foxicopter, which... hang on. So we've kind of... Our taxidermist is apparently a little bit too clever for his own good. But it's okay, because all those fox babies went to good use, as you can see right there.
What can I do for you?
Ugh, putting the big into big, Game Hunter. That's a proper right trophy right there.
See you soon.
Oh yeah, that's a trophy. And now we have his trophy as well.
Great to meet you.
Granted, tortoises are... Whoa, whoa. Oh, right. You were linking something. Granted, tortoises are not as big game, but they can be mean game. They also are a perfect bait for a bigger game. Gotcha got some old tablets saying the Tarji pit is a sacrifice in sight. The old empire used to feed unruly sorts to the waters, as it were. Well, I mean to see what's down in the water. Gather some fresh tortoise shells. Meet me at the pit. Let's go see if the legends be true.
Safe travels.
Alright. We got this, guys. I know the picture that Psychotic was about to link. It's a sea of player corpses at the basically at the feet of Undasta. Yeah, it is pretty horrible, Magister, I agree. What, Deutsch? Wait until you see Nessingwary's activities in Warlords, Magister, if you haven't already. Oh yeah, they're getting rid of Seal of Insight, aren't they? Meh. I'm gonna really have to sit down and learn my class again when Legion comes out. They're doing a lot of changes. Especially to Hunters and Warlocks and Rogues.
Hi.
I've always been living in my father's shadow, but after today, folks are gonna remember the name Nessingwary Jr. Thank you. This'll not be up. This ought to one-up me pop. If them tablets were correct, all I got to do is small dance ritual into the big thing of deep will be summoned. And when it comes out, we both get them. Show me pop, we're both true game hunters, just like him.
Off with you.
Oh, resorting to hocus pocus pocus, are you now? Oh, you'll see, Pop. I'm gonna bag me a big one. Alright, let's see if this old ritual will work. Step 1, dance. Step 2, heed me call, waters of pain. Bring forth to Jarzy's pain, the master call. Oh no! Junior! Come on! We gotta save me, boy! Okay, that went by a little quickly. So in case you missed it, Nessingwary Jr. did the ritual and was immediately mind-controlled and started swimming down into the depths here. From what I've seen so far, Outlaw looks pretty good, Brigwin. But that's going off of other people's statements, not my own. The beast is near. You are being hunted. These orcs travel at speed during daylight. Yeah, so there you go. That's the corpse army that Undasta was creating. So as you can see, Nessingwary Jr. here is being mind-controlled.
How are ya?
The master comes! Try shaking him.
Safe travels.
Lovaxus, watch the corners. I hear something coming. You chose the wrong hunter to hunt. Kite that thing a little further away so I can get a better shot. Alright, come here. Ooh, there. Yes, think of all those people joining the Empire. Ugh, what? How'd they get here? Oh, Junior, you're alright. I'm sorry I made such a mess of things, Pop. No, you were right. You did put the big into big game hunting. You done me proud, son. I love you, Pop. I love you too, son. Now let's go get us a pint. Based on what we've learned, that's kind of a foreshadowing of one of the big downsides of the Mogu Empire's policies. You know, sometimes I have spoken in defense, big asterisk, of things like the Terran Dominion over in StarCraft. Primarily because of the fact that they, you know, they aren't just ruthlessly efficient and brutal and cruel and evil for the sake of it. They are instead doing that because it's the most efficient way to actually accomplish things. The Terran Dominion did actually accomplish a lot. And as we've seen, the new Terran Dominion, as we've seen in the Ghost stories, are actually doing good, you know, and using good policies to accomplish the same level of things. So that's great. The Mogu Empire, by contrast, was extremely... what's a good word? Not uncaring. They were very negligent. And so a huge amount of the problems we'll be dealing with as we go through Pandaria will be things that are literally byproducts of the Mogu's expansion and policies and technology and everything that they did, because of the fact that they just didn't care about the consequences of their actions.
Well met.
Oh, you saved me, son. I cannot thank you enough. Please, take this for your efforts.
Keep your feet on the ground.
And that is almost everything. We've got one last thing to do here. And then we'll be done with the Valley of the Four Winds, and done for the day. Thank you, Malayas. I appreciate it. But that thing we were just in is a good example. That is literally just a mist creature, which, as we discussed, is basically a natural mist elemental that has come to be this horrible, evil consuming of the living thing because it just happened to be there, and the Mogu would just kind of send people in there to drown, and so over time it just kind of grew a sort of taste for blood as it slowly got corrupted by the massive amounts of death that was being more or less literally fed to it. Hence, at this point in time, by the time someone shows up, it's like... And yeah, I think apathy is a good word for the disgusting nature of what they do. What is this quest?
Tell me of your travels.
Oh, right. I know what that quest is. Let's go turn this in real quick. Oh, yeah, we've got the one other thing to do.
Tell me of your travels.
Let this be a lesson to you. Don't drink too much of the water. Why do you think we have such a big brewery?
May the mists protect you.
Now, that one line there sounds like a joke, but it's actually a really funny little tidbit. It helps to give a cultural reason why the Pandarans drink so much alcohol. Because if they drank too much of the water, bad things would happen. And they know this, not only because they can see what happens to the wildlife when they drink too much of the water, but I have this really strong impression that the Pandarans drank too much of the water once upon a time, forever ago, when they were still becoming a culture, a society. And they learned not to, and so they needed some kind of liquid to drink, hence having a brewery that you can literally see from here. I mean, look at that thing. So, I just think that's cool that they actually bothered to write in a cultural backstory setting, lore reason why alcohol is such an important part of Pandaran society. It's not just because they like to drink or party or whatever. There's a reason for it. And to my knowledge, I'm not sure any of the other races have that kind of a reason built into them. Hey, look. It's a farmer. Oh, this is the most decrepit-looking farm I've ever seen. Hey, you.
Welcome.
I've been pushing and shoving and hammering all morning, but it's hopeless. These rocks won't budge. It'll be a breeze, Grandpa said. Farming's like breathing, he said. Well, maybe for him, but not for me. How am I supposed to succeed at this whole farming thing if I can't even clear my farm for planting? Hey, wait a minute. You look like you've got some muscle on you. I do? Would you be willing to help me out? Just until I can catch my breath.
Next one is on me.
Yeah, sure. Take over for me. What's your name? Valvoxus? Thank you, Valvoxus. I need a break. You can find me in my house if you need me. I just like to say I love his outfit. That's why I did the zoom in there. Well, let's clear this farm out. What a city, pal. But yeah, I'm more with Deutsch. It's very clear that these people have adapted to be able to drink alcohol. Really, Thernova? Is it as bad as the last one? I shouldn't be so derogatory. Do keep in mind, by the way, I'm not trying to say that the Pandarans don't love a good brew. I'm just saying it's interesting they had a reason built into their setting initially, you know, like 16 millennia ago, or however long it's been at this point, to start doing that. And then, you know, over time, brew just became a part of their heritage, and now they continue to do it. So what happens if they drink too much of the water? Well, I don't know is the real answer. To my knowledge, they've never actually shown what happens if a Pandaren drinks too much of the water or consumes too much of the Titan life energy. We do see a couple of individuals who kind of get glutted on it, but most of the times we see that, it's energy that's been tainted by the Shah. Like the whole first chunk of the Siege of Orgrimmar, for example, is all showing how the tainted water energy has completely consumed the Shah things. What do you mean, Deutsch? Explain innate, or be destroyed. I will destroy you, Deutsch. Oh yes. None shall survive. I remember Simon Pegg was pissed off at the first trailer. Huh. Hang on a second. Deutsch, you want to... Well, no, not Deutsch. Oh, hey, new viewer. Hi, error not found. I like the name. Shoutouts. Thank you for the kind thoughts about my ruminations. I do plan to get back to them. I swear to God. I know people ask about it constantly, daily, but I am going to get back to them as soon as I'm done with the WoW Lorerun. And I'm glad you like it. If you want to continue hanging out on my stream, we're all friends here. I just realized I never reset my green screen today. But yeah. This actually needs to be up here. There we go. Sorry, when I was recording the Witcher 3 sections, I kind of had to move stuff around to let my sister fit in here. Anyways, so if you want to keep hanging out on the stream, you know, you are more than welcome. Don't be a stranger. As I tell everyone, I like chatting with my viewers a lot. I need a volunteer to be banned, really quick. I need to test something. I would prefer it not be a mod, because then I have to remod you. Otherwise, I would have already done it to Deutsch without asking him. Waiting patiently. Very patiently. Behold the patience. Ultra patience. Okay, psychotic. Ah, it's moving too fast. Ban! Okay. Excellent. It is still working. Okay. Unban. There we go. Just making sure the plugin's still working, which it is. I am actually thinking about going to Nightbot support and asking if they can bring back the old pull method. Okay, so. Back to the thing. Okay. All fixed. Well, it is supposed to do it for banning. I'm not as worried about it doing for links, but admittedly that is a concern. That, well, might be a concern. Hopefully will not be a concern. We'll see. I don't know of any way to fix that other than by actually banning them to get rid of a link, which would do it. So I guess that's not a concern. I just have to ban someone who sends a link I don't want to see on the screen. Like if someone just sends a link to www.hitlerwasright.com, I can just ban them and then it should go away.
Hello.
What? You cleared the rocks? That's great news. Maybe now I can actually start growing something on the farm.
There is no hurry.
Hey, do I hear someone outside? This is kind of interesting. Hey, Yoon, come out here. Oh my, Mr. Mudclaw. I didn't expect such an important visitor. You are the Howhan Mudclaw, right? Head of the Tillers Union? The master farmers in all of Pandaria. So you've taken over the ranch for good, huh? Yes, sir. My grandfather left me this farm. Just moved in the other day. Nice to see you, neighbor. Let's get one thing straight. You may be old Yoon's cub, but you're still a city paw. You even know how to run a farm? You know what? I'll save you the trouble. Sell me this here piece of land and go back where you came from. But it's my family farm. I can't just sell it. Besides, once I've gotten the hang of this, I want to be a tiller, like the rest of you. You join the Tillers? You'd have to prove your farming skills to all 5 members of the council. They'll never vote for you. Never say never, my grandpa always said. I'm going to give it my best shot. Do as you please, city boy. But I wager you won't last a week. I mean, look at this dump. I give him 5 days. Oh, 2 days, tops. Come on, boys. Let's leave him to his farming. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, ho. Daba, duaba, chewbacca. Ahem. So, I want to mention something really quick here. This is kind of interesting to me because on the one hand, this made me absolutely despise these guys. Like, I just wanted to punch them in their big, stupid teeth, and I wanted to absolutely destroy them, as you might imagine. But the weird thing of it is, this is still in keeping with the consistency of Pandaran society, if you know what I mean. If you don't understand what I mean by this, what we just saw was the closest thing to Pandarian criminal mafia head that we will ever see. And I love this because let's think for a moment. What does a mafia don actually do? Let's actually even divorce ourselves from reality for a second. Let's look at, like, say, The Godfather, Part 1. And, I mean, holy crap, you know? Lots of killing, lots of horrible, brutal, violent, despicable things, right? It's nothing personal, it's just business, right? The closest the Pandaren people have to that is a farmer who is rude. He doesn't actually come in, he doesn't burn the place down, he doesn't stab him, he doesn't try to bribe him out. He doesn't, you know, and do anything else other than he's just rude to him. Now, that is still makes him a dick, and it did still make him disinclined towards him. And it also made me extra inclined to try and help Farmer Yoon to, you know, to prove that he could actually be a good farmer. But that is just so small compared to everything else. Again showing that parallel to how Pandaria just is so much more innocent, so much more naive, so much more small scale compared to the rest of the world, which, again, I enjoy. Actually, I plan to talk about the black market auction house later, because it has to do with the Black Prince, and I'm kind of saving that conversation because there's a lot to talk about with him. Did you hear what those tillers said about me being a city paw? Sure, I grew up in Dawn's Blossom, but I visited my grandpa a few times. I know the difference between a carrot and a turnip. One's orange and one's white. After Grandpa passed, he left the farm to me, so I'm going to do my best for those tillers. But how do I prove this all done? Welcome back, Thane. Of course not, Braven. First things first, I'm going to need lots of help around here. If we're going to be partners, you got to learn how to harvest crops. If you want to harvest crops, you got to plant seeds. Oh, don't even. It's psychotic. I don't have the money for that. Now, it's my understanding that Mr. Greenfell? No, that wasn't it. Greedfill? That doesn't sound right. Greenfield, that's his name. He's the man to see for seeds. He's got a stall over at Half Hill Market, directly southeast of here.
Jade Serpent guide you.
Gotta admit, this is kind of interesting farming position. It's not as lucrative for large-scale farms, like, say, those massive farms over there. But it is literally right next door to the major food market in the area. So, I mean, it's actually kind of well-positioned when you think about it. Greenfield. Greenfield. I used to know where all this stuff was by heart, because I did this so often. Here it is.
Browse. Take your time. Enjoy.
Loon? Never heard of him. He just inherited Sunsong Ranch. You can literally see him from where you're standing. And he is. He's right there. Oh, of course. Sunsong Place. Just over yonder. I was wondering who might be moving in on that. He squints over your shoulder and waves at Yoon. When you come back to the market with the biggest, juiciest vegetables anyone's ever seen, tell him where you got the seeds.
May the mists protect you.
First packet of seeds is on the house. Come back to me anytime you want to buy more seeds, you hear? That's weird, by the way, Thane. I see your comments. I would, but I can see stuff.
Greetings, wanderer.
How'd it go, partner? Did you get those seeds from Greenfield? He waved at me, and he gave you a first packet of seeds for free. What a nice guy. You're doing a great job so far. Here's a little seed money. Okay, we've got our seeds. It's time to plant them. First, we have to prepare the soil. You gotta till the soil and break it up to make it a nice bed for our sprouts. Okay.
There is no hurry.
Tutorial. Tutorial. Tutorial, tutorial, tutorial.
Tell me of your travels.
Nicely done. Note how the seeds sprouted immediately? That's part of what makes this valley so ideal for farming. Something about the soil here just makes vegetables grow like crazy. Our work's not done yet, though. My grandfather used to say, Uni, a cabbage is like a woman. Ignore her, and she'll turn rotten. Pamper her, and she'll grow big and plump. Then you can put a ribbon on her and take her to the market and show her off to your friend. Look, he was from a different time, okay? The point is, now that our cabbages have sprouted, they need attention. They look a little dry, so you should water them.
Next one is on me.
Water can, water can. Oh, there it is. And yes, these are easy grows. Hey, Valvoxus, did you know that all kinds of things can happen to your plants? If you don't know how to deal with something, just ask me.
Hello.
Great, the cabbages are tended and looking good. Today they were thirsty, but you never know what they might need. Pay close attention to your crops and tend them accordingly. I got all kinds of advice from my grandpa, so if you're ever unsure how to take care of something, feel free to ask. Just make sure it's strictly related to farming. It's time for our hard work to pay off. Normally we'd have to wait a day for our crops to be ready for harvesting. Fortunately, those seeds Greenfell gave you are specifically designed to grow fast. The yield won't be worth much, but they're good for stepping new farmers through the process. Our cabbages should be ready to harvest. I'll let you do the honor, of course.
Jade Serpent, guide you.
The cabbages should be ready any minute now. Wait for it. There we go. Ripe for the picking.
Hello.
Look at those, what do you say around here? Oh yeah! Those buttes! Look at them buttes! I think I'm getting the hang of this farmer thing. Well, those are the basics. Till the soil, plant the seeds, tend to threats, wait for the results. Today was easy, but stay on your toes. My grandfather told me all kinds of crazy stories about farming at the Sunsong Ranch. Farming ain't all giant turnips and roses, you know. Yeah, sure, we'll keep going, because this is still kind of a tutorialization thing, but whatever. Alright, friend, all that farming was just for practice. You ready to try the real thing? There's a lady by the name of Gina Mudclaw who runs the Half Hill Market, which is across the street to the south. I heard she's going to buy some vegetables. Since it's your first time meeting her, you shouldn't go empty-handed. Why don't you look around the ranch to see if there's any items hiding around?
May the mists protect.
And thus we understand the concept now of gifts. Ah, gifts. I somehow have such horrible, horrible memories of gifts.
Welcome.
Of course I would, Kay. I prefer it over regular food. Regular food has bugs involved. And dirt. Ugh. Hey, haven't seen your face around here before. What's your name? Oh, a marsh lily. How'd you know these are my favorite? I just might take a liking to you. Thank you. Now that we're acquaintances, let me give you a tip. If you go do dailies, you'll raise web with people. So, okay, we're gonna go
May
ahead.
your days bring
Pause
you
here.
joy.
Basically, this leads through a lengthy quest chain, which I can't do because it's daily locked, where we slowly go through a series of quests to get Yoon more and more accepted amongst the 5 heads of the Tillers Union, aka the Farming Guild. And when we do so, you know, we expand this farm, so it goes from 4 to 8 to 12 to 16 spots of soil to work on. And there's a few other things you got here. I showed you what a full farm looks like on my main. And you can gather all sorts of stuff here, including motes of harmony, chunks of ghost iron, the enchanting mats. You basically can get crafting mats in general from here, and of course just plain old vegetables, which is you know, good for cooking, in addition to just being kind of the lore thing that most people here do. Let's get rid of that. You get better tools that speed up the process as time goes on as well. I haven't heard anything other than what you yourself have already shared, Thane, so I don't really have any thoughts yet. It is all, however, BioWare, so I'm automatically disinclined. So, that is actually it. That's it for the Valley of the Four Winds. I know it's been a little bit fillery, and I'm sorry that it took 2 days, because of the whole thing. As an aside, we might be having a half day tomorrow. I don't know yet. The idea is my sister may or may not be coming by in the morning for us to record a second Witcher 3 episode. If she does, we'll be having another half day. If she does not, then I'll be having a full normal day of stream tomorrow, where we will start the Krasserang Wilds, which we're actually going to start on our alliance. And do the one alliance chain of unique significance, and then we'll go ahead and finish up the rest of the zone on the Horde. For reference, we're basically going to be doing all of Pandaria on the Horde, because the Horde is just so much better than the alliance. It's just so logical. Anyways, either way, one way or the other, I will be on tomorrow, so I hope to see you then.